Yo, what's good, y'all? What is good? What is good? Yo, my apologies. I have not dropped a video in a while. Your boy is about to graduate, so I've been super busy with just getting everything in order for the weekend for my son to be able to have a spot at the arena and all this other shit. So I've had to go meet with people at my college, meet with people at Baxter Arena, just to figure out some seating arrangement, and it's taking forever, but it's all good. We gonna get it figured out. But yeah, I just been busy, so I just ain't been able to drop a video. So I figured, why not just go live about certain topics that I've been seeing up on the YouTube streets. And unfortunately, this last, I think, like week has just been just seeing dumb shit on YouTube as far as claiming what they call content. Um, People just talking out their ass, just saying anything, and we'll react to the videos. I just been trying to figure out which, because I didn't know when I react to the Breakfast Club they gonna fucking get my video blocked and all that extra shit. So trying to figure out which channels I can watch that have either the content that I'm looking for to react to or whatever it may be. Because sometimes people post it on their Patreon or wherever they want to allow their exclusive content to dwell, and then it makes it hard for people that aren't willing to pay for these people's lifestyle to get the content. But luckily, you got people on YouTube who know how to screen record and do all that good fancy shit. And today we are going to talk about feminism. YouTube, please don't strike me, don't knock me down. I am just here to give my opinion and report what people have said and what people are claiming. Now, I'm sure you see the title. You're like, what is this dude talking about? Hold on real quick, yo. All right. Now I'm sure y'all see the title and y'all like, yo, what is this dude talking about? Is he gone? Is he burnt out? And this is I'm currently in college, so like I'm experiencing, I don't know how they title it, but it's like feminism within college or some shit. Like it's something to do with people that are currently going to college, like experience like they push the whole feminism ideology on students. They have you take class that learn about feminism and all this extra shit. And through my period of being in my freshman and sophomore years of college, I've taken some classes that have kind of struck a nerve, or the 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 textbook of the class struck a nerve, because just like it's crazy to see certain shit that the feminist ideology pushes and is accepted within these college textbooks. And because like deans and teachers, they all have to get the textbooks approved and all this other shit. So when I figured that out, and then I'm like, yo, like, see, just seeing certain shit in textbooks, such as like society won't be safe until all single men are like basically gone off of the earth, like just crazy shit. Like, bruh, like I've seen some crazy shit in some textbooks, and I wanted to report the textbook, and like it's just like, bruh, it's too much to jump, like, to report a textbook and all this other shit. Like, bruh, it's just crazy how like though like this feminism ideology will fucking spread the way it has. Like in one of my in this class where that the textbook I was just referring to, I asked this lady, that was pushing back on what I was trying to figure out, what I was going to write a paper on as for ideologies in America. And when I had was having this discussion with the teacher, other classmates wanted to step in, and I can't remember how exactly the conversation went, but I remember this specific statement. that I said, and I asked this other girl in class, like, asked her the question, and she just went complete radio silent, and went from radio silent to just an uh, emotional reaction to what I was saying, and it was just a bunch of extra shit. And all I asked her was, as a man, what privilege, when I walk out my front door, as a man, what privilege do I have that women don't? Because if we live in because the feminism ideology is all built off of the patriarchal society that we live in. I'm doing quotations. I know you can't see me, but patriarchal society. So, which basically means that we live in a man's world where men are benefited all these other benefits that women aren't. And when I asked the question, what privilege do I have that you don't have when you walk out your door? And it wouldn't, like I said, she went radio silent, and then just had an emotional reaction and started like getting emotional in her response of, you don't understand, little cliche TikTok shit, the privileged don't see when they're privileged, or some shit like that. And it's like, and then I asked her, I said, well, men are more substitute to being attacked than women. I can't remember the exact percentages because it's been a while since I've had this conversation. But then, went into the emotional of, oh, well, what about, when you walk outside, are you scared something is going to happen to you? And I was like, no, I don't, because we live in a crazy world, and I make choices. If I live in a not so how do I want to word this, if I live in a neighborhood that's got crimes going on, and you can kind of just know it's that kind of neighborhood, I'm not going to walk down an alley in certain neighborhoods late at night. Like, as a man, that's just not what I'm gonna do. And so I was like, like, I don't, like, as a man, like, someone could run up on me, stab me, rob me, whatever it may be. And yes, it can happen to women as well. But when we look at the data, and I might just search it up real quick here, but when we look at the data, men are more substitute to being attacked than women. And when I had this conversation with this teacher and this classmate, it made me realize that people are like, the feminist ideology is really like seeping into America, and at that point there's nothing we can do about it. Like, it's already seeped and emerged itself into people's ideology, not just women, but male men as well. So when I realized, well, there's nothing anyone could do to fix the problem, like, as far as when it comes to feminism and the narratives that it pushes, the best I could do is just speak on my experience, not my experiences, but speak on the data and everything that I've kind of gathered as far as my experience, data. And when I say data, I mean facts and, statistics and all that other good jazz. I got to put those together and then, give a logical opinion on said subject. Because if I move it, like, the way I notice feminism is a lot of the times it pushes people to move off emotional reactions. It has trigger words. It has like sign language signal words to people to say, hey, this is what's going on. So, just pay attention. Yo, let me say what's up to people in the chat. What's up, Chappelle? What up, Turtle Dick Berry? Hashtag Larry. But yeah, I just basically where I was going with that is that feminism is here to stay, and there's nothing we could do about it. The most we can do, whether it's male or female, because believe it or not, there's a lot of women that don't believe in feminism. They think they have some of the same opinions as men when it comes to the feminist ideology. And where I was going with what I was just talking about is that there's nothing we can do about feminism, but the most as people we can do is either teach our kids how negative it is, or just have these open dialect conversations to where it's not just people getting stuck in echo chambers on TikTok or Facebook, wherever it may be, and they're picking up these feminist ideology ideas and implementing them in their own life, and thinking they're a victim of patriarch or whatever it may be. But to me, feminism is a real like victimhood mentality to live with. You get a lot of people that will just be like, oh, but this, and this, and, I just need a break because, and it's like, to me, like it's just a bunch of, it's a way to manipulate the system into feeling to getting what you want, whether it's like oh, I had a mental breakdown, so I needed time off from work or whatever it may be. I feel like sometimes some of the things, some people use it to their advantage, and they're not really experiencing those kind of issues. They're just kind of, and I'm not talking about everyone, but I'm like, to me, the feminist ideology allows a lot of bullshit to go on. And we're gonna react to a clip from a woman that I happened to come across. I wouldn't say her content, but she was on other people's panels that I was watching, and kind of, just kind of ghost watching and seeing what they're about. I seen this woman on this podcast, and I wanted to hear what she had to say, because a lot what I was seeing as far as in the comment sections or on other reaction channels, people were saying that she cooked this guy and she had all these great points. Well, I wanted to go see for myself, so I went over there and I peeped the content, and like I said, if you read the title, this lady had said that all men should be castrated, and ladies, if you're having a child and it's a boy, you know what to do, and like shrugged her shoulders, like we're gonna get to the content, but shit, let's see, seeing and hearing shit like that just really upsets me and annoys me, because it's like, if we got up here as males and said kill all women, what, like some crazy shit about women, if we said that, we either getting our career taken away from us. If you live off of YouTube, you're gonna get your YouTube channel taken. There's a bunch of shit that happens to males when they get up there and say crazy shit, which I don't think any male should, because that's just crazy shit to say in general. But when a woman does it, nobody bats an eye. The feminist ideology, the two women that are like in like, I wouldn't say in control, but run the feminist ideology movement. They don't speak out against certain shit like that. They don't speak out on hate against men or women that claim to be feminists and say hateful shit about men. Like, they're not speaking out against that. So to me, the feminism ideology is not good for society. If we're gonna push and spread hate about one gender, one group of how do I want to say it? One group of people, such as males, then why have it at all? Because feminism started out as equality. It was an equality movement, women to fight to get the rights to be able to work, be able to vote. And then now I notice feminism, this new age of feminism, is starting to transition from the word of equality to they want equity. So it's like, to me, if the ideology is gonna change every 10 years, and you guys are gonna move the goalposts as far as what the ideology actually means, to me, it's a fallacy. It's not an ideology anymore. At that point, it's just whatever women feel like they want to make it, and that's a fallacy. Like, there's no other way to go around it. And so, if you don't know by now, me personally, I'm against feminism. I don't stand with it. I think that shit's a crock of shit. I feel it's bad for society. At one point, it was good for women, but also feminism excluded Black women in the early 60s or 70s. So it wasn't like feminism was for everybody when it first started. It was solely for white women and all that extra shit. And then to keep the feminism ideology rolling, they started to take on how do I want to say it? They started to care about Black people and their issues. So you hear certain feminists call themselves intersexual or intersexual feminists or some shit like that. They got like, it's so many different branches that like they're like, oh, I'm intersexual feminist because back then feminism meant this, and bruh, it's, To me, it's just like when you gotta do all this extra shit to understand the ideology, it's pointless. If at the end of the day, feminine people, women that are claiming to be feminists are saying to castrate all men, and that what ladies, if you have a baby boy in your belly, to terminate it, it's like what kind of ideology is that? What kind of shit is that? Like, I would never promote an ideology that spreads the either hate or spreads uh how do I want it, the dismantling of society, because at the end of the day, to for society to sustain and to continue, we need both male and female to be involved, because it takes two to make a child. Like, all that extra shit about, oh no it don't, we could have our eggs saved, all, man, that shit is not guaranteed. But what is guaranteed is when a male has sex with a female that is able to have a baby, there's going to be conception when that sperm hits the egg. So let's get into this content. I got actually two topics to talk about. It says feminism one, and then the other one is it deals with, I don't know if you guys know who Ebony K is, but Ebony K. Williams decided to make a claim that she would not date a bus driver, which is she can make a preference of whoever, whatever she wants to date. But the issue with the whole Ebony K. Williams thing for me personally was her going at essential workers, everyday 9 to 5 workers. She went from that's her preference to, oh, if you work this job, you're average, you're below all this extra shit. But at the end of the day, Ebony K, your job is not essential. Like, you talk to a mic. Like, if YouTube shut down today, I hope everybody that realizes when if they're profiting off of YouTube, that one, if this shit ever closed down, or if the world ever came to like what it did, your job would not be essential. If you ask me, sanitation and nurses and, sorry, I'm just trying to find this timestamp right here. But yeah, nurses, sanitation, truck driving, and I'm missing a bunch other, but there's other ones, of course, like when it comes to 9 to 5 workers that are essential workers that help make the world go round. I'm even talking about the baristas that work at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, or what scooters, wherever you get your coffee. Those people make your life a little bit easier, because guess what? You can just leave your house, go there, and then before you go to work, you can stop and get your coffee. Now, if say all the baristas went on strike and we lost every coffee company in America, guess what? You're gonna be stuck making coffee at your house. And we know how some people like to. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to figure out where this. I wrote it down to. Oh, a lot of people don't realize that, like, I'm not saying baristas are essential workers, but what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, they make life a little bit easier for everybody. For the people, well, not for everybody, but for the people that are running late and they got to get kids to school and all that other shit. So, yeah, let me see. What's up, Eagles fan? What's good, E1? Yo, oh yeah. Before we get into this content, I want to make sure that I tell y'all about an upcoming battle that is tomorrow on the homie E1 Kicks channel. He's right there in the chat. So if you can either type in that name or click on his name, whatever it may be, and go to his channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you do that, because tomorrow he's got a lit battle. It's gonna be hella, or what is it? Why am I Hella Lace? Oh, sorry, Hella Lace. I drew a blank right there, but I knew it was Hella something. Hella Lace versus Fat Cat Greedy. Now, if y'all don't know, these two collectors got a crazy collection. If you follow them on IG, you would see Hella Lace's infamous feet pics on Instagram, and then you would see Fat Cat Greedy's obituary sneaker posters, where he goes in depth about maybe an experience that he was having while waiting to get the shoe or whenever he's camping out, or just maybe a crazy topic that was going on around the sneaker release, whatever it may be. He gives you a good in-depth breakdown of how he feels about the sneaker, maybe a little bit of the origin story, and he'll sprinkle in some facts and some nuggets in there that maybe people don't know about today. So make sure y'all stop at the homie E1's channel tomorrow. Yo, E1, if you could type in the chat what time the battle is tomorrow, I'll make sure I put that in the description of this video. But yeah, the battle goes on tomorrow evening at the homie E1's channel. So make sure you go check it out. The homie Sneaker Jacks had a live earlier, and I've kind of been out of the loop. I've been busy, like I said earlier in the live, been busy with school, scheduling the graduation, figure out seating for my son, because my son's in a wheelchair, so he needs special seating. So having to go to the arena, figure all that shit out, then go back to the school, get shit accepted. It's been a crazy week. So, but I seen the homie Sneaker Jacks had a live, and from what I gathered, it seems like somebody was hating on the Mahalo Battle League, and all I'm gonna say to that is, even when you do good, people are gonna hate. Even when you're giving out over $2,000 in winnings, and I'm talking even because the loser gets paid as well. When you pass out that kind of money as into earnings for the battlers, people are gonna hate. People are gonna be salty. So it's not no surprise that there was hater out there, or people. I don't even know. All I know is there was one hater for sure that decided to jump out the window, and it's not a big deal. Like, if that person wants to feel how they feel, they have the right to do that. But it sounds like there was a lot of mishaps on a grown man's end. So just I wouldn't. If something's going good and you make a mistake in life, just be accountable for the parts you played in it. If you played a part in where you could have done better in understanding the time slot or what was going on, then take accountability in that. If not, then just be a child. That's fine. There's man child out here all the time. So it's not you're not changing anything in society. So, but yeah, with that being said, y'all make sure y'all check out the Mahalo Battle League. I think with Greedy's battle, Hella Lace and Greedy's battle, we would be at battle number 12. So, we're doing pretty good for a battle league that just kind of started on a whim. Like I said, we giving out over $2,000, 2,000 plus. It's somewhere in the middle range, I believe, that has been given out to battlers. So, when you do stuff like that, people are gonna hate. It just comes with the territory. Yo, what's good, Sneaker Files? Yo, what's good, DL? Let's see who else up in here. Oh shit, the leader's here. It's the leader. Oh, there it is right there. Yo, battle tomorrow is 10:15 Eastern, 9:15 Central, and I think that would be 7:30 for the West Coast. So yeah, be sure to check out that battle. He dropped the link right there. I believe he already has a live set up, so you should be good. But yeah, salute to everybody that's in here. Stop by, you know what I'm saying? Whether you come and go, that is totally fine. But be sure to hit that like button for your boy. But yeah, other than that, salute to all my Mahalos, the Mahalo Battle League. We just got to remember, when we do something great, people are gonna hate. That's what comes with the territory. So I'm not too surprised that there's going to be a couple of people that jump out the window and try to paint a narrative about the Mahalo. I'm not surprised by that. So it is what it is. If you're having fun when watching the battles, if you're enjoying the content as far as the jokes, the sneaker showings, the presentation by the battlers, all that stuff, be sure to stick around, because we're just trying to spread a good time within the sneaker community. It has been so serious, and all this crazy tension, and people profiting off the sneaker community but don't really care about it. Like, a lot of that shit goes on, and I feel, me personally, I'm just here to give people a break from reality. Sometimes we just need a break to, listen to some, get some laughs off, enjoy the content that's going on screen, or enjoy the bullshit that's going on in the chat, whatever it may be. That's what me personally I'm here to do, is to give people a break. Like I'm not here to profit and try to go crazy on profiting off the sneaker community. Like, but that's just me personally. I don't speak for all Mojados, so they can feel how they feel as well. Just know sometimes, they may not align with my opinion, and that's okay. That's why I call my channel Agree to Disagree. That's what we do over here. So, with that being said, let me pull up this content that we're about to react to, and I'm going to try to set the tone a little bit. So, I'm going to start out with this first timestamp, and then we'll go into the next one, just so y'all could get a vibe of who this lady is. And, this topic may take 10, 15 minutes. If you ain't got time, that's cool. But I'm going to react to it. All right, yep. So, let me see if y'all can see this on my screen. Okay. Y'all can. Let me get this coming up out of here. So, if y'all can see my mouse, the lady that I am going to be basically reacting to, all these other girls, they're like OnlyFans, and they're not very like with what this lady is trying to push. This lady in the beret, her name, her first online name that I've picked when I first was introduced to this lady was Lav. She kind of had this like I said, this victimhood mentality, and whenever she did something that was wrong online, she would blame it on like her having a mental episode or a mental breakdown, and just wouldn't really take any accountability for the way she carried herself. She would always blame other people. She would specifically blame men in YouTube realms. And I was introduced by this lady. Y'all know I react to a lot of Abba and Preach content, and I was introduced to this lady by one of their videos, and over time I just kind of seen her on different channels that I was kind of just checking out to see what they talk about. And this lady Lav, there was this one conversation she was having. I believe it was on this dude Destiny's channel, and she was having this conversation. And then like when they were, I can't remember, but like I said, she was like in a way trying to apologize for the way that she accused a man of certain things, or being malicious online and having his chat do certain things. She was apologizing, or at least attempting to apologize, for throwing certain terms and labels on this guy. And basically it was just a bunch of crock of shit. She didn't really care, because I think like, and this was sometime last year, and then over the last couple months, she then attacks the guy again and says that like he's like a creep, he's a weirdo. And but I don't know, like it's so fucking crazy how I was introduced to this girl. But long story short, she's one of these feminists that like to throw labels at men, don't care about the repercussions that certain labels can give men, like accusing them of being like creeps or weirdos, or like, dude, the feminists got so many terminology, I can't keep up with this shit. So I'm just gonna say creep and weirdo, because that's what she was trying to allude to about certain men, and it just didn't work out in her favor. Then she linked up with this one weirdo named Mr. Girl. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but to me, he just comes off as a super like narcissist, manipulative little creep. Like there's this, honestly, there is some men out there that like that. So like it was kind of odd seeing this quote unquote feminist align herself with Mr. Girl. But with that little breakdown, we're gonna get into this reaction of her. I'll allow her to introduce herself. It's gonna, once she does that, I'm not gonna watch all the way through. I'm gonna skip through timestamps that are down here in this chat. So, just stick with me if you can, guys.
Get started today. So, without further ado, after that thoroughly long-winded introduction, we're gonna have the guests introduce themselves. So please tell us your name, age, and occupation. Go ahead.
My name is Leah. I'm about to be 25. I'm a Cancer. I am an ex-sex worker turned anti-sex revolution, anti-sex industry activist influencer.
Okay, there's a lot there. Hold on. 25, used to be a sex worker.
Mhm.
Like, what does that mean?
I did OnlyFans and I was a prostitute.
OF and then, okay, prostitution.
Yes.
Is there a difference between escorting and prostitution, or is it's kind of like the same?
People like to make flowery language for sex work because
Yeah.
it sucks, and they say escort, but it's
Mhm.
the same thing.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so
Now I want y'all to pay attention. She's acting like she's anti this, anti that, anti this, but watching this little intro, how everything she says she's anti, she still profits off of.
escorting. Do you prefer?
Doesn't matter. to
Doesn't
me.
matter. Okay. Any stripping or anything like that? Just OF
Uh,
and escorting.
Not really. Yeah, no, just mostly.
Okay. And you used to do it, no longer.
Yes.
You said you're anti what? Anti
Sexual revolution and sex industry.
What? Interesting. Anti. What is the anti-sexual revolution? What
So
does that
the
mean?
sexual revolution, we can get into it. In the 1970s to now, where women are sort of promoted to live this sexual lifestyle, just
Mm.
like a man. I'm very anti.
Okay. Interesting.
And then anti-sex industry. I'm
All right, there's the first signal of she's anti-men, but she kind of tries to separate it and do word semantics, but y'all peeped it.
obviously anti-porn, anti-prostitution.
Okay. I didn't know this. That's
Yeah.
She's anti-porn, anti-prostitution. Keep all this in mind, guys.
okay. Interesting.
Yes.
And is your OF still up, or did you nuke it?
It's still up because I was a very notable sex worker, so my photos are going to be just online regardless. So I might as well just make the money that I can. If you want to consume it ethically,
Okay.
if you can.
Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Oh, she's anti this, anti that, anti this. But once you get into the details of this person, you start to see they're not really what they talk about. Like, you can't be anti-sex work, but then have your shit, still have your OnlyFans up and running. Like, you're profiting off something you're claiming you're against. Now, I just want to, I'm gonna lay out the evidence for the court because, well, we're gonna take feminism to court today, I guess, so to say. So there's one inclination that, see, a lot of times feminism will push ideology or will allow women to say that they are against something, but then have a rhetorical kind of lifestyle, such as now she's profiting off something she claims she's against. Like, how are you against something but you're profiting off it? When isn't that like the whole what word am I looking for? Isn't that like the whole thing of patriarchy? Like, they're against it, but like I'm confused. Like, we'll just get into it, y'all.
Can consume porn ethically.
Sure. So you're still getting some trickling in income from the OnlyFans?
Sure. What very unsubstantial.
Look at her face. Look, that's the shit I'm talking about. This is the creepy shit that I'm talking about, that feminism pushes. And the only reason I'm like, I really speak out against this shit is because I saw it happening firsthand when I was while I'm in college. And if some of y'all that don't know about college, they actually have classes for people to take to learn about feminism. So they want to indoctrinate people with this ideology. And trust me, I know sometimes hearing the word indoctrinate is creepy. It's just, to me, it's a terminology that a lot of like conspiracist people have used, and they don't really have facts to back up their conspiracy. And that's why I kind of try to use different words, because I know certain words will not trigger, but will allude to things, and people may take it and perceive it different. But it's the truth. In colleges nowadays, they teach you about feminism. Like, they really try to push the ideology onto people.
But yeah.
Okay. But you're not posting there anymore, obviously. So,
No.
okay. Got it. Okay. we'll come back to that. I'll just have
All right, now let's go to the next timestamp. Yo, I just want to shout out the Whatever podcast. To me, they have a decent way of going about it. It's, I don't know. To me, sometimes this whole setup of the way that these kind of podcasts are ran are kind of weird, but I kind of respect the way this gentleman goes about it. He's not coming off as a dickhead, and I think it's also good for us men to watch these to kind of see how women are thinking or perceiving things or understanding things, just to kind of, it's like you always got to watch the other side of the whole media news thing. If you're watching CNN, you should watch Fox as well, just to kind of see where everybody's head is at. But I know sometimes people get emotional and they can't allow, their emotions don't allow them to separate. Okay, let me see what they're talking about over here on the left. Let me see what they're talking about on the right, whatever it may be. I know some people lean are extremists and they lean one way more than the other, and so that don't allow them to hear out both sides. But me personally, I like to hear both sides and kind of get an idea. And I don't want to
Laugh and
I don't want this to
let's see.
see. Oh shit! I don't want this to seem as I'm putting this on all women. No, I'm putting this on this girl Lav, and as you heard, she had a different name. But I'm also putting it on the feminist ideology. So if you subscribe to the feminist ideology and you think it's the way life should be ran, just know my words are for you. It's not for all women. So because I know not all women believe in feminism. But let's get back to here. I
And,
think this is
I
it.
think you need to get laid, girl. That's all I think. Like, that's
what
it.
an inappropriate
Well,
thing to say.
I think you need to get laid.
Well, I
You're
mean,
so
she
uptight,
so
it's
in
I'm-
her, she does have a fiance.
I'm engaged. I get laid quite
you need
frequently.
more, or the beta's not cutting it for you or something.
I think well,
Damn. Hold on, let's rewind that real quick. God damn, that's an OnlyFans girl telling her that.
And
I think you need to get laid, girl. That's all I think. Like, that's
what
it.
an inappropriate
Well,
thing to say.
I think you need to get laid.
well, I
You're
mean,
so
she
uptight,
so
it's
in
I'm-
her, she does have a fiance.
I'm engaged. I get laid quite
you need
frequently.
more, or the beta's not cutting it for you or something.
I think well, okay.
See, this is
A spicy meatball. She said, "Yo, man ain't laying the pipe right." She said, "You ain't getting deed right."
this is coming from a very strange position of deep internalized misogyny.
What is that? What is
Literally,
internal?
No idea.
The
Buzzword?
See what I'm saying? Yeah, and Brian just hit it. Buzzwords. That's the terminology I was looking for earlier. Feminists have these buzzwords, and when they hear them, they're like, "Oh!" And if it comes from a woman saying it, like it's like trigger words for them, to where they, "Oh, I gotta listen in. I gotta stand up. I gotta stand up for her. I gotta make sure I say my opinion in the comments, and all this extra shit." Like, bruh, that's what the buzzword shit. Like, bruh, I cannot stand the buzzword shit. Like, it's super fucking cringe. Using some Alex Jones verbiage. Yo, see what I'm saying? Yo, even Eagles fan picked up what I was saying. Like, certain words have become like tied with these conspiracy guys, such as Alex Jones. And when you hear them, it can cause a cringiness within your body, because you're like, "Oh, I remember I heard so and so, the conspiracist said this." Like, it's fucking crazy how our minds work now in this new age of technology. But it's the way life is going, so we got to adapt. If we don't adapt, we get lost with the times, and you don't want to get lost with the times. You don't want to be the old guy not having any understanding of what's going on and completely detached from reality. You don't want to be that guy. So unfortunately, as we get older, it's a fight to keep up with the times. It definitely is, because I find me good in my old ways, and I'm not even that old. Let's see. Rest in power to Kevin Samuels, man. Facts, Chappelle. Facts. A lot of people did not like Kevin Samuels. And one thing that I live by as I've gotten older is that always see how the situation plays out. And a lot of people fucking hated Kevin Samuels' guts, did not consider what he was saying, did not want to hear him out or anything. And I think now, over the last 2 years, we're really starting to see where this independent bad bad bitch ideology, feminism ideology is taking society, and it's not on a healthy. Oh, excuse me. It's not on a healthy path, considering what we're about to see this young lady say. And let's go to the patriarchy, because this is always a good one for me. To me, I always find
We're gonna move on from that. I want to bring
I find the whole feminism ideology against patriarchy as to be fucking comical, because we are seeing women make more money than they ever have in society. And I'm talking about from intelligent, educated women, and also ditzy, goofy women that post on OnlyFans that make $100,000 a year. So I'm talking about both ends, whether it's for sex work or it's for educated work. Women are making more money than they probably ever have, and I don't have the data to prove that, but I can definitely, or I guess I could pull up the WSJ, but. So I guess I do have data to back this up, but women are making more money than they ever have in society. So with that being said, if women are making more money than they ever made ever, would we be living in a patriarchal society? If there's women, we've had our first vice president as a woman. We've had our first judicial judge. Wait, was it? What's it, dude? No, it wasn't Supreme Court judge as a female. So there's strides that women in the 60s and 70s fought for that are, being met now. So how could we live in a patriarchal society when women are having their way with life, and they're able to make this amount of money, get into these positions such as vice president or Supreme Court judge? How is it that we live in a patriarchal society, but these things are happening? Like, I'm confused. Like, what? Like, it's not like society has went backwards and women can't vote or women can't work. Like, that's where all this started from. And, so I don't see how we live in a patriarchal society when women are making just as much money as men, if not more at times.
it back. Basically, what kind of got this set off is I said that I don't believe that feminism is about equality. And I wanted to finish my point on that is because
you hear how she scoffed at that?
Give feminism the most generous definition. I would say that feminism is a women's advocacy movement.
Yes.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with women's advocacy. However, you can't say that it's an equality movement.
It's an equity movement.
No, it's not any of these things. Feminism.
Also, feminism isn't a monolith.
Well, okay, I'll get into that. But basically, feminism is a women's advocacy movement in its most generous sense. Nothing wrong with women's advocacy. However, you cannot deny that feminism is a man-hating ideology.
I can deny that.
Well, what is the core tenet of feminism? The patriarchy theory. Agree or
That's
disagree?
funny.
Not necessarily.
Is it a tenet of feminism? Is patriarchy
To some
theory,
people, yes. In some sects, yes.
Do you believe in the patriarchy?
Yeah.
Do you believe in the patriarchy theory?
Patriarchy theory being that it exists?
Sure. I mean, there's a
Yes,
patriarchy
I believe that the patriarchy
theory.
exists, yeah.
Well, I would, as far as theories go, theories are not fact, and I would say that.
Well, it does. We don't have to. We don't have to really theorize. Only 25% of this is today. Only 25% of who is in Congress, we've never had a female president, but 25% of who's in whose Congress is female, and that's today.
Well,
that's in 2023.
That's another apex fallacy. You're looking at the top tier of men. Here, you want to take a look at who occupies the top positions of society. The CEOs, the politicians.
Yes.
But here's where feminists you don't consider that men occupy the worst positions in society. And I'm not just talking about in jobs.
Ivan Jr. donated $100. Bere's past has her so screwed up. She has issues with masculinity. Her words hate men. Her narrative is painful to bear. Wish I was there. Women are emotional manipulators, and the Fem movement further damaged the nuclear family. I'm a man and I have self-control.
You can tell your audience has a lot of sex.
I mean, that's
Now, I don't know if y'all was here to peep the first part when that girl told her that she needed to have more sex, she said that was inappropriate. But when something came to a donation insinuating that she needs to believe whatever the dono said, she is now saying, oh, he must not have enough sex. But didn't you just say that that was inappropriate? Like, this is what I'm saying. The word gymnastics these feminists go through to try to be combative and argue with you just is a full circle of them looking like jackasses. You told that woman who told this girl that she needed to have more sex that was inappropriate, but then she says the exact same thing to a random donator. Bruh, what?
An ad hominem attack. It's, basically the feminist 101. Oh,
It was actually a passive aggressive retort, but
fair enough. Okay, so we were talking about patriarchy.
yeah. You're saying it was a fallacy.
No, what was I saying, actually?
You were saying that what I was saying was a fallacy that 25% of who is
Oh,
in.
apex fallacy.
Yeah.
Yes. So you don't consider that men occupy the absolute worst positions.
I do consider that.
Right, but this
That
idea
doesn't. That doesn't. That's. I don't. That has nothing to do with that. A patriarchy exists. So a patriarchy would be a state
what is a
ruled
patriarchy?
by men, primarily by men, which passes off power to other men, which is what we have lived in.
That's not true. Passes off power to other men.
Yes.
No,
and
passes-
men and male interest, and because of that, because of bias, because. That's why on the Supreme Court we want people from different backgrounds, is because people will come in with their biases. If most of the people who are in charge of the free world
Sure.
are men, their biases are going to be for men's advantage. They're not going to think about women. They're not going to think about mothers. They're not going to think about females.
It's funny you mentioned that because we recently elected a woman to the Supreme Court,
Mhm.
and you talk about the patriarchy and you talk about men. However, if I sort of have a sense of where you're getting at, if we're talking about Roe v. Wade being overturned, there are more women who are pro-life than there are men.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women who are pro-life.
I think everyone gets very caught up in the abortion debate. I think that's a whole nother.
Well,
That's a morality issue.
I don't
more
want to
so
really
than a
go too far
political
there,
one.
but a lot of women will say, well, the overturning of Roe v. Wade and trying to stifle women's access to abortion, that is the patriarchy. That is men imposing their will. However,
Do you think
there's-
that patriarchy only? Do you think that? So,
well, this
because
is a
you're
common,
smart. Because
I,
you're a
I know where
smart
you're
guy.
going with this. I know where you're going with this.
Patriarchy doesn't just live through men. We all feel it. Women can be misogynist. Men can be misogynist. The patriarchy can live through women.
So, women who are women, are you saying
Women
they
who are women.
uphold the patriarchy? Look, do we
Yes.
currently live in a patriarchy?
Yes.
Under
No.
patriarchy, are women oppressed?
Yes.
Under patriarchy, are men oppressors?
Yes.
So are you oppressed?
In some ways.
How?
I think that, we talk about the sexual revolution. I think that one form of oppression that all women face is subjugation in the form of their sexuality. I think that women are forced to perform their sexuality. I think that women are forced to.
What do you mean by perform their sexuality?
Like, I think that women become sexual objects in the eyes of the patriarchy.
Blah, blah, blah. Word semantics. Look, she can't even figure out what her own ideology is. She, in the beginning, introduced herself as anti-sex worker, and now women are oppressed by men. But mind you, these are the same women that are going on OnlyFans and choosing to upload, whether it's a video or a picture of them nude or entertaining a intercourse of sex. Whether they are the ones that are choosing to post that. No man is putting a gun to a woman's head and saying you need to post this on OnlyFans. Women are seeing the Instagram, how Instagram made it to where they could get clicks, views, and likes, and now they're willing to take it to another level to where they're willing to go nude. And there's men out there, gimps are willing to pay for that. So when women see that, they are capitalizing off of men. How is it that the man is oppressing the woman when essentially he is the one giving the woman the money? Like I'm confused. Like, bruh, I'm like instant equity, like value of an investment. Yo, where did I get more of that? Because there's a timestamp with her, but this is one thing that amazes me about feminism. You see how she uses all these buzzwords like perform sexually. She like all these other fucking word like playing word semantics, and it's like, bruh, you're doing all this because you know we don't live in a patriarchal society. Like men are not forcing women to post shit on OnlyFans. Women are seeing the money come in and they're still doing it. And essentially, you're capitalizing off of weak men that are willing to pay for some sort of interaction with a female, whether it's $10, $50, whatever it may be. Well, at the end of the day, there's two parts being played within that situation. The man who gives the money and the woman who's providing the sex videos or the nude pictures, whatever it may be that they're posting on their OnlyFans. It's consent by two adults. I'm confused how she's like, bruh.
Yeah, I think that a lot of men view themselves that way, and I think that a lot of women are comfortable viewing themselves that way, in turn objectify themselves and objectify other women. I think that in a way that men are just not.
Well, that sounds like zero accountability to me, but
I don't think so at all. I think that I'm
Facts.
the first one to take accountability of what I have done for that.
well, you're putting the blame on men for women sexualizing themselves.
Yeah, in a patriarchy, the blame would be on men.
Well, I feel like you can't really win with feminists. Either we're trying to stifle women's sexuality
It
or
takes
we're
teamwork.
encouraging it. But
It takes
Um,
teamwork. I think
can-
first men need to see women as human and they're others, not their inferior others. I think if men
I don't,
stop
men-
using,
most men don't view women in that way.
I would disagree with you. But that's
I mean,
that's a
isn't
bias.
that a bit of a sexist statement to make? That you think
That
most
I think men are sexist. Yeah.
Well, I suppose in some ways. So you said you were oppressed. How were you oppressed?
I just talked about that. I talked about sexual subjugation.
But are you currently sexually subjugated
Yes, certainly.
by your fiance?
By my fiance? No.
Well,
I
you're-
think that there are individual players. When we're talking about an ideology, when we're talking about a political ecosystem that's different than individuals, right? I've already bit the bullet that I don't think every man is patriarchal, but I think that
You
the
think most
society
are?
rages. I think that we are less so now than ever before. But I think that we are raised with patriarchal values. So men need to either unlearn that or they don't.
Unlearn what? What do
Patriarchal values.
men? Which are what?
That men are the head of the household, that women should be submissive, that women are incubators, that women are fuck toys.
Well, I don't think men necessarily have that view. But so just on your first thing, you're talking about a traditional relationship dynamic where men are the leaders of their household. But
That's a Christian, Judeo-Christian relationship dynamic. That's not necessarily like even a naturalistic
bro, these chicks are so
relationship
bored.
dynamic.
So-
It's called gender roles, you goofy. I'm not even going to use the word, but it's called gender roles in a relationship. And more than ever in today's time, we see the dynamic of the woman's the breadwinner, the guy stays at home, whatever it may be. There's different situations that happen, and if you want to go in depth of biological and all this other shit, like she was trying to touch on, more than likely it's been proven when women are of higher status and earn more money, women do not date down. But when a man is of status and makes whatever amount of money, to $1 million, to 100,000 a year, to 50,000 a year, whatever it may be, men are always subjected to date down. When they're up like 100,000 and they're in the 1%, they're subjected to date down. Or say even guys that make $65,000 to $75,000 a year are still subjected to date down, whether it's the come and go cashier, the Target cashier, whatever it may be. It's always been that way, and you don't see men complaining about it. But for some reason, when women get in a position of power, they always look at it as settling. They always look at it as they're dating down or whatever it may be. So it's kind of funny to me that women will say they we're raised in patriarchal values and the traditional way of a nuclear family, such as a man leading the household. Biologically, women want men to lead. biologically. Women want a man that provides, can protect, and think with logic and move with reason. That's what women biologically want from their man. We don't complain about that. But it seems as today, this new age of feminists is now complaining about the biological part that women play in society, which is to recreate life, bring new bodies to this world. It seems as if that's more looked down upon than anything else. Like the feminists, from what I'm gathering, feminism does not care for women to procreate and to recreate and to have all, to bring new life to the world. They would rather just sit here and argue and, oh, but women shouldn't be looked at as this, but men can be looked at as a walking wallet. A man could be looked at as a provider. Like there's certain things that men don't bitch about or complain about. We just go about life and don't worry about, don't trip or sit here and say, oh, women that like tall men, they're discriminatory. They discriminate against short men. Like, bro, what kind of dumbass shit does that sound like? Like that, if a woman wants to be with a tall man that makes $100,000 a year, good luck, honey. Because guess what? If you do the data, that's 2% of men. Men that are 6 feet tall and make $100,000 a year, that's 2%, maybe even 3 or 4% of men. Now, if like this is the thing, is when you get to asking women what they want and all this other shit, if you enter that data into the Census Bureau, you'll see that the portion of amount of men, percentage of men that are in that bracket to be able to provide what they like. Like I've seen a lot of women say, I can't settle with anyone that doesn't make $100,000 or more a year. Well, that's only, I think, 10% of men. But when you add in other preferences such as height, ethnicity, it starts to shrink that percentage. So it's like, I'm confused as to how women are expecting certain things of men, but man can't expect certain things of women because it comes off as sexist, controlling, narcissistic, manipulating, all this other shit. But with that being said, let's go to where this lady has some crazy shit. Let's go. Where's that? Okay. Right here, I think it is.
Like
That's
when you
not
watch the
unreasonable. Oh, wait,
Talk is like I'm ready for
okay,
that.
this one
Okay,
can come
here
one
we
more time. Yo, chat. Thank you, chat, for all this.
I want y'all to peep her body link. As y'all can see, there's ladies that left. The ladies that are there right now are completely bored because this lady has just derailed this whole podcast, like with her like fucking word semantics, that she's like completely bored people. As you can see, look, everyone's bored. A majority of women that were there at the beginning aren't there just because this lady is spewing complete bullshit. But I want y'all to peep what this lady says should happen to men.
Support tonight. You guys have been overwhelming. Thank you for all the support. But anyways, guys, last call. Hit that like button, please, on your way out. Thank you for tuning in tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Oh, who should I raid on Twitch? Hold on. Is there who's live on Twitch? I'm going to send you guys over there in just a sec. 1 sec here. Let me just pull this up. Stream Manager. Shout out to everyone on Twitch who watches and supports and who's gifted subs and follows. Thank you guys so much over there on Twitch. We are going to get some emotes here pretty soon. Hold on. Let me see who I'm following, who I can raid.
All right, buddy.
Fuck. Sorry, guys. It's my laptop is.
I didn't realize this guy was gonna have all this
Pick
going on.
channels you follow. I don't have any.
Amaranth, raid Amaranth.
What?
We have the same ring. I just
Girl Cutebot.
You like that?
We could
Oh
raid
no,
her.
Cupid's great.
go raid my
we
friend.
could. I think he's playing Twitch, or do we raid Share World of Warcraft?
Free. Period.
Yep. He has like a dating.
My bad,
Rob's
bro.
dad is a famous
Yikes.
rapper. Ask her about it. My
Yeah,
dad is Lil Jon.
That's okay. That's plausible. Okay, I'm gonna raid. They're on a raid.
All right,
Everyone who's
bro.
Donated 100 to another.
DM.
tap into all our chat mods. By the way,
3
No,
minutes
you
early.
were on time. We started, the cast is going so long. Look, get here on time next time. That's all I got. I
No,
gotta say about that.
truthfully.
All right, here it is.
we're
My
very
bad,
grateful.
though.
Like
That's not unreasonable. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, we're gonna wrap up. Last chance, final thought. Anybody?
Here it is.
Okay, that's no.
Don't have sex with men.
What the fuck?
Bro.
End of
Don't-
the species.
Women
Hello.
don't have casual sex. Women don't have casual sex.
What?
They
They
do.
have casual sex.
No, I'm
with
saying
husbands.
women do not.
You
Don't
have
do
casual.
it.
What?
What is casual sex?
Having sex with strangers. Don't have sex with strangers.
What?
And women get
Uh,
off of birth control.
Didn't you used to?
Okay.
I don't know. This panel is just feral.
Yo.
Feral.
And if you find yourself pregnant and you find out it's a boy, you know what to do. Population control.
Oh
Hey,
my.
What? She just said what? Run that back.
Feral.
Yo.
Feral.
And if you find yourself pregnant and you find out it's a boy, you know what to do. Population control.
Oh
hey,
my.
yo.
God.
Little extreme.
Yo, you
Okay,
can't
can
end
we-
on that. What the
Look at that. Look at that
We're
nasty
done. Hitler
smile. Look
Show
at
her
that.
happiness, Brian.
Unplug her mic.
Yeah,
at least.
thank you. We're done
That gets all
here.
the asteroids.
Look,
Jesus.
look. Shrug of the shoulders.
Fuck, there's a whole- okay.
Oops. Did I
Um,
say
All
that?
right, guys, we're gonna wrap
Oops.
up. Wait, is there anything
Like, bruh. What the? Bruh. What? Like, bruh. What? Did y'all peep that? Yo, ladies, if you're having a boy and you're pregnant and you find out it's a boy, castrate or what'd she say? She didn't say castrate because that was in a different clip of this show, but she said what? Birth control? You know what to do? She alluded to? Like, bruh, what?
We're
That
done
gets
here.
all
They're coming out.
Sorry.
Uh,
You know what to do. And if you find yourself pregnant and you find out it's a boy, you know what to do. Population control.
Oh.
You know what to do? Population control? Like, bruh, if there was any guy that got up on YouTube and was telling other guys, yo, fellas, if you get a girl pregnant and you don't want the child, you know what to do. Wink, wink, population control. That man would lose everything. If he had an outside career outside of YouTube and just did YouTube as for fun and on his free time, and he actually had a career going on, that would be taken away from him. But because this bum ass lady right here, Lav, because she likes to change her names and all this other shit, but because this bum ass lady don't have nothing going for herself and she sits on Twitch all fucking day and benefits all fucking OnlyFans, she's able to say shit like this and she's not affected. This whole like beret and fucking stupid ass leather jacket she got on, bruh, to me it's just super corny shit, and it's fucking annoying how society will not stand up against this bullshit ass feminist ideology. Like, bruh, I can't believe she just said, ladies, if you're having a boy, you know what to do with it. Population control. Like, bruh, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, feminism is all about hating men. It's that if you look up the definition of feminism right now, just know that meaning does not apply to this new age of feminism. It's completely fucking out of hand. These ladies are batshit crazy that believe in this feminist ideology, and respectfully, they should not be able to fucking be taken serious in society or had any kind of fucking impact. But because, like I said at the beginning of this live, we can't stop feminism. It's here to stay. Women are forever gonna push the bullshit ideology. It's just about how as adults we have to raise our kids to help them understand that ideology is full of crock of shit and it's just a hate group. That's what I would label feminism if I had a fucking file cabinet and I was able to stamp something on it. It's a hate group. Like, bro, you spreading hate about men. Like, I like, as a fucking man, I know in society we need women. I would never go on a fucking panel or anywhere to say, yo, kill these women. Like, bro, to me, that's crazy. Why would you say something like that? Why would you encourage women to abort a baby because it's a boy? Why would you encourage that? Like, bro, sick bitches like this, shit, like, bro, I'm gonna keep that opinion to myself. But sick bitches like this should not be able to fucking have this in front of them, a microphone. You should not have a microphone in front of you, you sick fucking bitch. Like, bruh. And mind you, earlier in the podcast, I couldn't find the clip, but earlier in the podcast, she said all men should be castrated as well. Like, bruh, if you don't know what castrated means, it means your fucking genitalia cut off. Like, how is that progressing society in any form? How? I'm confused. How that's pushing society forward for the next generation to live comfortably, or to understand and to be able to learn from the generation prior's mistakes and be able to apply that to their life when moving forward. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And with that being said, we're gonna move on from that goofy ass bitch, because I'm not gonna give Lav, the man hating weirdo, any more fucking acknowledgement on my channel. Like, I just want to let y'all see how goofy that broad is and how fucking dumb feminism is. Like, I cannot stand feminism. It's bad for society. If it was really about equality, why wouldn't it be called humanism? Huh? I mean, we're all humans, right? That don't disclude anybody, right? So why wouldn't it be that? Oh, wait, that's right. It's not because they don't want equality. They want equity now. Like, bruh, miss me with that bullshit. But luckily, this next topic is able to kind of transition right into what we were just talking about. So now we're going to leave feminism and we're going to talk about Ebony K. Williams went on this show and she was asked a question. Would she date a bus driver? And she played it down like she like a bus driver is below her, so she can't. She would date the bus owner, the owner of the company, but she wouldn't date the bus driver. Now, her dating preferences, that's cool. That's all her. Now, but the thing is where I see the outrage at, where I understand it, is when she played like someone that drives a bus, a man of integrity, a good man that wouldn't cheat on her, that, you know, he's just got morals and values. She wouldn't choose him because he's not the owner of the bus company. See, a lot of women want men to be at their peak when they meet them. The women today aren't willing to build with the man. Like, they just want, when they meet a man, they want that man to be able to provide everything that they want and need right at that moment. And if that man can't do that, she gonna leave your ass in the dust. She gonna take whatever she can off your ass, and then she about to bounce. As soon as shit go bad, she's bouncing. And that's the thing, is when people solely put money at the core of their relationship, I think that's a bad idea to do, because when you have money as the glue of your relationship, it's most likely going to fall apart, because men and women go through job changes. Sometimes companies closes. Sometimes people get laid off. Sometimes people have to work for pennies on a dollar because they're trying to build themselves up in that specific trait that they're in. So to base money as your core value in a relationship, it's going to be a roller coaster, because money comes and goes. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. So to base money as the glue of a relationship, and I see it a lot in today's times, where women will judge a man based off of what he has in the moment she meets him. If he ain't got everything, but he's working towards it, they'll entertain the idea of being with that person. But if that man's career isn't moving as fast as she wants, she's gonna move on to another thing, because that man isn't able to provide a lifestyle that she wants. Now, I want to make it clear, Ebony K. Williams can have whatever dating preference she wants. But when you attack essential workers, the middle class, the people that make the world go round, you are then attacking. You're basically saying these people are below you, as if you brought some greatness to society. Ebony K. Williams, you're an entertainer. You just talk. Well, and I'm not, granted, I won't take her lawyer she was a lawyer. That's how a lot of people were introduced to her. She was a lawyer who started to transition into the podcast area. So, but I'll touch on the lawyer situation a little bit later after these clips. So let's get into this original clip of Ebony K. Williams talking about she would not date a bus driver, but she would date a bus owner. And I want to set the stage. I want y'all to pay attention to this first clip. Not once does a specific race get brought into this. Ebony K. Williams specifically says, I'm not talking about one specific race. I'm talking about everyone. And then she goes into her statement. Now, that to me is a very, very important detail that a lot of people are leaving out, because when she made this first statement, it had no race in it. But as she's responded to the backlash and made two other statements, she threw race in the mix. And to me, when she threw race in it, that's when she threw the wool over people's eyes, because then it became a specific race thing and all this other shit, the white supremacy and bigotry of the world. She started throwing these buzzwords that threw people all off. So they only see that clip of her talking about it, like, oh yeah, I stand with you. Fuck, fight the system. Fuck this, fuck that. She basically was able to pivot this whole situation from her original bullshit statement, going at the middle class and hardworking people that help the world go round, to then making it about a race situation. But I just want to point that out so y'all can kind of peep what's going on.
When we talk, and I know that you've said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Iyanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum.
All right, y'all hear that? Across the color spectrum, right? Across the color spectrum. This original statement did not come about a specific race. She made it very clear. We're gonna run that back.
Men that are create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I can build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. So I think some of the criteria that we look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalanced. And then when the men show up, we want to beat them up because they're not living up to our standards and criteria. And it's not working, beloved. It's just not working. So it's not that it's bad or wrong. It's obsolete. It's obsolete. We have to come up with a new way of being. I don't believe in carrying a man. A man has to do for himself. My son got his first job when he was 9. 9, okay? Because you're a Black man, you will know how to take care of yourself. But I think
now that's the only time that a specific race gets brought up. Shout out to, I think her name is said Liana. Oh man, I don't want, but shout out to this lady right here. She's got her thinking cap on. She's thinking with logic. And as if you know, and if you notice, Ebony K. Williams is not pushing back because she's nodding her head. I believe
The
even
way we
she agrees after this statement made by oh man, why can't I say her? Van Zant, Lyanna. Damn, I'm so mad I can't say this lady's name. But Miss Van Zant, we'll just call her Miss Van Zant because her name's right there. She's using logic, and as you can see, watch, Ebony's going to agree with her.
measure it, it's just obsolete.
I think that's a factual analysis. For whatever we want, expect, we're told we were going to get, we got to look at the numbers and what's available on the marketplace. So you're certainly not wrong in the
Or-
analysis. And Yana, let's tell.
Now, I wanted to Pete. She agreed with her. She said, "Oh, that's a factual analysis." So that's in the conversation that is agreement. Now, as I pointed out, because one thing I've been following this situation. Now, as the reason I pointed out, peep how within this original statement there was no race brought in. Ebony K. Williams even made it clear she's talking about every race, right? Now let's pull up Ebony K. Williams' response to the backlash that she got.
Today's sidebar starts with a note of gratitude. I want to thank the culture for making my interview with Dr. Iyanla Vanzant one of the most popular and actively engaged content offerings the Grio has produced. So before I tell you my thoughts, let's replay the clip that had some of y'all deep into your feelings. I do want you to speak, Iyanla, to, I don't know, our crown. Feel that, trust me, I've done them all. Some of the statistics and some
No.
it to the interview.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Now let's address the response to the interview and what some of y'all are calling a backlash. So let me be clear. First, I am a professional disruptor. So backlash is my business. And I will always take it on the chin for the sake of advancing the work, conversation, or movement. So know that I am completely unfazed by the onslaught of nasty comments, wishing me a sad, lonely, bitter existence until my untimely death. Now, that is some weird energy to be wishing onto a Black woman, especially one who has dedicated her life
All right, she put race in it right away, right there.
to the liberation of Black folk. But, whatever, I guess, go off. See, I wanted to talk about how do we close the gap between Black women who do show up in a so-called masculine posture, those of us that are providing and building and protecting due to circumstances that we might feel make us feel that if we don't do it for ourselves, we will have to go without the resources and protections we need to feel safe in this world. But Dr. Iyanla went in a different direction. She asked me a personal question. And y'all know I have been extremely transparent about the fact that my life choices and my chosen lifestyle are far outside of the norm. So when I said that I would date the bus owner, a lot of y'all heard something different. Some of you heard the following: bus drivers are whack. Bus drivers are broke. Oh, and I'm too good for a bus driver. The only thing is, y'all made that part up. See, I said what I said. But then some of y'all started talking about salaries and hourly wages, pensions and benefits. And that's wild because I was never talking about money at all. I was talking about Black ownership. But some of y'all.
See, y'all, she's playing with words. She's playing word semantics right here. Now, we as people, we can just use our fucking common sense brain. And when someone differentiates between an owner and an employee, what is the main difference between an owner and an employee? The money they get paid. That's why an owner is an owner and an employee is an employee. So when she said people made it about money, no, Ebony, you did. When you made the claim, you would date the owner of the bus company, but you wouldn't date the bus driver. There's a difference. And the main difference is the pay. Like, what makes an owner and employee different? The pay. So what are you talking about? People made it about money, salary. Like,
made it about money. I'm talking about ownership, Black enterprise, and entrepreneurship.
as you can see now, she's starting to use the ethnicity and race. This is coming into play. But when she made her first statement, it had nothing to do with race. But see, she's gonna start to pull on the heartstrings of people, and she's gonna pivot, and y'all gonna see it. And to me, this was disgusting.
Entrepreneurship, because really I am talking about Black liberation. And if you read my book, you'll understand why. So I'm standing 10 toes down on that position, and I don't really care if you're hurt or offended by it. And since some of y'all are already big mad, let me go ahead and make you incensed. So out of the 50,000 plus comments posted on social, I only saw a handful that even considered the possibility of a bus owner being a more aspirational position and recognizing that I am actually speaking and pouring into the ascension of Black men when I said what I said. But see, no, some of y'all were too busy naming and shaming me personally and Black women in general as undesirable, gold diggers, and much worse. Now, I suspect that some of y'all are the same men that were bringing home C's and D's on your report cards, only to then be coddled by parents that said, well, that's okay, as long as you're doing your best. Well, listen, I love and believe in the excellence of Black men. So no, my dear, C's and D's or any...
But this wasn't about specifically Black men. So why is she doing that? Because she realized that her original comment of stating that like a bus driver is some low average person is now trying to pivot off of that and be like, oh, let me throw in race, so like it looks like I'm for Black excellence and all this other stuff. But no, Ebony, your original statement was you would not date a bus driver as if a bus driver, and now look, she's throwing in report cards, C's and D's. Bruh, there's so many people that do not have a high school education that are in trade school, that are doing things that help society, whether it's sanitation, trash men, janitorial work, being nurses, EMTs, all this stuff. There's a lot of people that were able to get into positions such as sanitation. Now I want y'all to imagine the trash men stop picking up trash for 3 months. The world is going to be a stinky fucking place. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be smelly. There's going to be trash buildup. You're going to see flies, gnats. You're going to see all this gross ass shit from the trash buildup. And this is my thing. Ebony, she could date whoever she wants, but when she starts to attack the middle class, such as bus drivers, people that get C's and D's, and it's not sticking to her specific preference of what she wants, is when I have my issue. You're going at everyday workers such as truck drivers, people that, because let's be honest, people that drive a bus, they could have other jobs that they do in between time. And if you notice in Miss Van Zant's initial comment, would you date she would date a bus driver that has integrity, that's happy, that takes care of her, that respects his mother. She named out the floor plan of what she was trying to get Ebony to understand, that this man isn't just a person. Like, she's like, I'm asking you this question. I'm not talking about the man that just sits on his couch, smokes weed, and eats Doritos all day. She's talking about a man that gets up. He loves what he does, such as a bus driver. Bus drivers get great benefits. They got great medical benefits. They got great dental benefits. They got great 401ks. People that are bus drivers can retire, I think, after 20 years, and they get a pension. They get money for that. So this is where I think a lot of people took their issue with Ebony, as far as her statements about not wanting to date a bus driver. And what I think people are and women and certain people, because there was a lot of women that are championing what Ebony K. Williams was saying, is I think she doesn't realize the trickle down effect. So she states this, and women internalize it as I ain't gonna accept no man that's a bus driver. I want my man to make $100,000 right when I meet him. See, that's the issue with society today. A lot of women, majority of women, will not be willing to grow and build with a man. They want instant gratification. They want the money and the materialistic shit right away, right straight from jump. Soon as they meet that man better be able to willing to take them out, pay for their nails, their hair, whatever it may be, pay for all this shit. They want men to do it right away. They're not willing to prove themselves because you know why? They don't have good intentions. They always have these reserves because what comes with technology comes with social media. Women are now seeing all these options, all these likes, all these DMs from other guys that now they feel like they need it right away. I need instant gratification right now. I need what I want right now. They're not willing to grow and build with a man. If you ask me, a man that is a bus driver and loves what he does and has integrity and respects his parents and has morals and values is better than a billionaire who is a fucking creep weirdo. That's just my opinion. So it's like, oh shit, let me shout out Primera. Yo, what up, Primera? Primero, pay attention. She likes to take it on the chin. Yo, you peeped that? Like, that was crazy, dog. But let me continue to get this clip played because it gets even more crazier.
Any other form of mediocrity is not okay. Well, listen, I love and believe in the excellence of Black men. So no, my dear, C's and D's or any other form of mediocrity is not okay. No, I will not create a soft place for you or anybody that I love to fall comfortably into the bigotry of low expectations. So I'm gonna say one more time, there's absolutely nothing wrong with driving a bus. My mother Gloria drove one for years. But could it be that Black America has been sold a narrative of average, regular, and typical being good enough for us? Well, see, that's called white supremacy. And in this case, it takes the form of conditioning Black Americans to happily accept being a permanent American underclass. But see, because I know the truth about Black folk in America, no, average is not and will never be good enough for me. And the gag is, I don't think it's good enough for you either.
Touche, Ebony. See, this is my issue with this whole situation. Is the original comment did not revolve around race. Ebony K said herself, the plethora of races. She didn't make it specific to Black people at all before this question or when she was making this statement. Now that she's seen the backlash, she took the nasty position of, I'm going to turn this into a Black issue so that when I use the word bigotry and white supremacy, the people that will fall for the word semantics such as like there's buzzwords like bigotry and white supremacy that people will use to rally people together to stand against whatever it is that they're rallying against. But Ebony, your original statement had nothing to do with race. So what does Black America have to do with this? She said it herself. She's talking about the multitudes of races. How does she find a good man? She didn't specifically say, how do I find a good Black man? She said, how do women like us find good men? And then I think her name's Viola. I think, geez, that just came out properly. Viola said, would you date a bus driver? There was nothing to do with race within it, but because she was catching so much flack, she wanted it to then make it a Black issue. Oh, if you're, and don't get me wrong, yes, there may be times when there's systemic oppression on races or people, certain people of ethnicity that are trying to come up within the system. I think that there is some dickheads that will, stop people from being able to grow in a company because they're dickheads. I can see that happening, but I'm not saying that happens very often. And for her to transition this conversation from would you date an essential worker to I don't think Black America should settle for this bigotry and white supremacy. I think you should be this, and this. Yo, Ebony, miss me with the bullshit. because your original statement had nothing to do with race. And it's fucking disgusting and nasty when people insert race into a conversation to save their own ass. This is coming from a 40-year-old single woman that has benefited off the white supremacy system she complains about. Oh, if you didn't know, Ebony K. Williams is a lawyer. You benefited off black men going to jail. You benefited off this white supremacy bigotry system that you're complaining about. You were once a lawyer, and I believe she's still a lawyer. So how is it that she's quote unquote fighting the system when you benefited off the system before? And this conversation had nothing to do with a specific race. And it's fucking nasty when people do shit like this. And unfortunately, I can't react to, because Ebony K. Williams did, she ducked that accountability. Yo, facts. You see that? She hit the Neo, just whoosh. Like, bruh. It's nasty when people do this, when it's I feel like the more logical conversation is to really is to have as to why women that are able to have sexual intercourse with quote unquote guys that are 8, 9s, and 10s. Yeah, you're able to get laid by men that are 8, 9s, and 10. It doesn't mean that's what you're deserve to have, however you want to say it. Like, I think a lot of women get lost in the I can have sex with an 8, 9, or a guy that's an 8, 9, or 10 on a scale. I know this sounds crazy, but there's logic in this. Women that sleep with guys that are of higher status look at when their beauty and everything has taken its course and it's no longer benefiting them. They then look at guys such as bus drivers or trash men or guys that are EMTs or whatever it may be. They look at it as they're settling now. So they go into the relationship thinking, well, I'm settling with this guy. Like, I could have had this or this. I was able to fuck this guy or fuck that guy. So now that I'm not able to lock that in to be able to have that kind of man of status settle down with me, I got to settle down with the average guy. Like, you're not settling. Society has just sold you a fallacy and a dream that you deserve more and you're a princess and you're special, when in reality, you're probably with the guy that you deserve to be with. Like, it's nasty how where women's brain has gone as far as when it comes to getting in a relationship. Like I said before, they no longer believe in settling or not settling, but they no longer believe getting with a person and growing and building with that person anymore. They want the instant gratification right now. They want the guy to be able to provide all this certain stuff that Hollywood puts on these fucking TV channels. And that's what they want right then and there. They don't believe in, maturing with the person, growing with the person, building that connection. Like, the nuclear family is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller in society. And it's due to a lot of the feminist ideology, whether it's they don't think that they don't believe in the nuclear family. They don't believe in gender roles in a relation, or they don't believe in role. I don't want to say gender roles, but they don't believe in roles in a relationship. When you become a team with someone, when you're getting with someone, and I used to keep running to settle, but I don't like the term settle. But when you're building with someone, you are essentially a team. Anything more than one is a team. So when you got two people in a relationship, teamwork makes the dream work. Everybody has their role to play, whether it's the man that's staying at home and taking care of the kids, or the woman that is going to work in the breadwinner, or how vice versa, whatever it may be. Everybody has their role to play, and as soon as someone stops playing the role that they asked to do, guess what happens? The team falls apart. So you have to have roles in a relationship. You can't just go willy-nilly. We'll just figure it out as we go. That's not going to work. You have to set boundaries within a relationship so everybody knows their role that they are playing. So when, such as Ebony was saying, when you have, or not what Ebony was saying, but such as to what she was trying to allude to, when you have certain ideologies, such as the man needs to make just as much as more of me, you are then putting yourself in a position to not have that team. You are not allowing you to love someone or to meet someone based off of the interactions you have with them, the connection you have, the conversations that you have. When it becomes solely, oh, how much money does this man make? What can he do for me? What can he, how much can I use of his money to do this? How much can I use? And you're basing money to be the glue of your relationship. That shit's not gonna work out. That's just not gonna pan out good for anybody. Money should never be the core of your relationship with someone. And that's why I say this generation that's growing up are not going to understand the meaning of true love. They're not going to understand. They might not even understand the word, the definition of love, because we're getting so far away from love that it's becoming now, what can you do for me? It's materialistic shit that, if you ask me, equates back to feminism. To me, it just goes right back to feminism. It's the ideology of women being able to be in positions of power and stuff, which to me, I appreciate. But when you have someone that's in a position of power and they're not happy and they continuously want more and more and more power, or as the feminism would say, or feminists would say, equity, you're essentially going to have a fucking avalanche of troubles falling down on you, because you're consistently bringing up a problem here, a problem, an issue here, an issue here. We're gonna get tired of that shit as men. When it's a constant, this is what I was fighting for, but now that this is met, we got to bring up a new issue. We got to bring a new problem. Men don't want to deal with fucking problems outside of the problems that they already have to deal with in a day. Now, when we're adding more and more bullshit, more and more fucking frivolous issues on a relationship, it's not going to work out. Them people are not going to want to be together. And that's why you see women like Ebony K. Williams, who is 40 years old and alone. 40 years old and alone. But she's equipped to have these kind of conversations, right? She's equipped to be able to have the conversation of, women don't settle for a bus driver, because I wouldn't. I want the bus owner. I didn't realize how true this statement is, but I'm starting to believe it more and more. Who gives women the worst advice? Can anyone guess? Who gives single women the worst advice? I'm going to let y'all know. Single women. Single women give single women the worst advice. And it's just a little statement that I heard that I'm starting to feel like is true more and more as life goes on. And this has been my issue this whole live stream with everything I've reacted to. I wonder if Ebony K or Lav have ever asked themselves, what can they do to better society? Instead of making it about me, and what I want, what can I do to make society better? What hasn't worked for me that I realize, and I can say, all right, you know what? This didn't work out for me well. So let me guide you this way. How can you be a benefit to society if you're able to have this kind of platform, such as Ebony K. Williams does? 78,000 subscribers on this channel, and this video got 7,600 views, and that's not including all the Breakfast Club views, 34K. She actually did a response to this whole situation today, and that's at 137K. Unfortunately, I can't react to that because Breakfast Club will strike the shit out of my channel. They will get me up out of here. So unfortunately, I can't react to that. And long story short, she basically tap danced with big words on the Breakfast Club this morning about how she's for Black excellence, and her statement was to motivate people and all this other shit. But your original statement had nothing to do with ethnicity or race. So how to save your own ass, you made it about a specific race to get off the original point you made that basically played men that are bus drivers. If a man is happy and he has integrity, he's got good values, he respects his people, he's there for his people that are surrounded with him, and he can genuinely love a woman and I guess provide everything that a woman wants. Why are you then downplaying that person? Why are you acting like an essential worker don't have good benefits? See, this is the fallacy that single women present to other single women, and then they think women feel like, oh, I need a guy that makes $100,000 more or more to get with. Ladies, reality check. You're not gonna meet a man that makes $100,000 more when you're not doing that yourself. Now, Ebony K, I know that's a different situation. She is up there when it comes to status. But once again, this goes back to the situation of women that make a bunch of money complain about not meeting good men, but are they looking for good men? Are they only looking for men that make the amount of money they make and up? Now, it's funny that when men of status that make $100,000 or more date women that work at Target as a cashier, work at the gas station as a cashier, or date the Starbucks barista or scooter barista or whatever it may be, they're not looked at as dating down. They just found someone that they bond with and they're willing to spend their life with. They don't consider dating down. But when women so let's say a woman makes $100,000 a year, and if they date anyone that makes less than $100,000 a year, they're dating down. That's the claim that they make. How is it you're dating down, but men ain't? It's okay, and it's respected when a man dates down and doesn't date a bougie bitch. Like, but how I'm like, I don't understand the thought process of you're dating down when a man doesn't make as much. Like, bruh, you can't complain about not meeting good men, but you're setting these standards for yourself, such as a man needs to make more the same or more money as you, but then complain you're not meeting good men. Well, you're closing yourself off to the good men because you're looking for a specific. And like I said before, I think it's only 5% of men make $100,000 or more, or I might be wrong. It might be 10. It might be a little, maybe 12. So I might be wrong on the 5%. But you're looking for a small percentage of men, and then you're going to add in all your other preference as far as ethnicity, height, maybe religion status, whatever the preference the woman wants to add. You're throwing this on top of already wanting $100,000 a year. And that's only 12% of men. And then you add your preferences, which probably knocks it down to 5 to 3 to 2% of men. Ladies, you're not going to meet a good man when you're wanting all this extra materialistic shit that doesn't matter. Ebony K. Williams said she wants a man that can provide the necessities of life. That's what she said on the Breakfast Club. And if I recall, the necessities of life is having a roof over your head, having food on the table, and roof over your head, food on the table, and I guess in today's society, being able to have a TV or a cable, whatever you want, whatever it is your preference of streaming it is. But the necessities of life is only food, having a roof over your head, and maybe being able to go out and enjoy the outside at times. Go to fucking the zoo, or being able to go out to eat with your family. Yeah, I can see that. But in reality, is that a necessity? Do we need to be able to go out to eat? No. Because if a man and woman can figure out how to build that bond and be able to, all right, you cook tonight, and then the man cooked tonight, the woman cooked the next night, and be able to bounce that off of each other, you're able to find happiness within those situations of just kicking it at the crib, and one cooking and the other one, hanging out with the kids and teaching the kids and shit. Like that, to me, that's more important than being able to provide a fucking $1 million house or $250,000 house, than being able to, like, bruh, my brain becomes discombobulated when people start to add in shit that's not necessity to life. Like, when in reality, we don't need the internet. We don't need fucking social media to live. As humans, we don't need this shit to survive. We only need a roof over our heads, food on the table, and making sure the kids got good. I guess I forgot clothes and stuff. Those are necessities of life. And you don't need to make $100,000 a year to provide that to a family. Like, I'm confused. Like, and to me, it's just people speaking from inexperience, because we got to remember, Ebony K. Williams is 40-year-old single woman with no kids that's giving other women advice on how to find a man. But if you ask me, it's horrible advice. Like, telling, like, bruh, ladies, I just want to say this. If any ladies come across this, just know a man that drives a bus, works for the trash company, does janitorial work, is working on becoming a nurse, or works for any kind of trucking business, or a man that works at a grocery store. Because remember, guys, when COVID hit, a lot of people got to really realize what an essential worker is. People got to realize when shit shuts down, when people stop working at grocery stores, when truck drivers stop driving produce and food, and when pharmacies such as Walgreens, CVS shut down, those people that work in those buildings are essential workers. People need to be able to get their medicine. People need to be able to pick up groceries. When those kind of businesses shut down, because let's be honest, women don't really work in sanitation. They don't pick up trash and shit. When trashmen stop picking up trash, when mailmen stop delivering mail, those are the middle class workers that make the world go round. So, ladies, getting with someone that is a bus driver, a trash man, works at Walgreens, works at a grocery store as a cashier, stocker, manager, whatever it may be. Getting with who else is out there? I'm drawing a blank right now, but y'all get what I'm saying, ladies. When you meet a guy that's an essential worker, don't look at him as below you or average. That man is needed. He is an essential worker. All this, like, I'll throw Ebony K. Williams as an example. She's I don't know if she's a lawyer anymore, but she's an ex-lawyer. She writes a book. She speaks on podcasts, and she does entertainment now. She's not essential. So for her to downplay a bus driver is kind of dumb to me, because, Ebony, it's the middle class that supports you. It's the middle class that buys your book. It's the middle class that watch your content. It's the middle class that supports you. So to downplay the middle class as to be nothing, you make yourself look like a jackass. And any woman that does what Ebony K. Williams does, you look like a jackass as well. Let me say what's up to a couple people in the chat that I see popped in. Yo, what's good, Bob? Yo, what's good, Frank? Oh, shit. I thought I saw someone else. Huh? I thought I saw someone else. I don't know. But anyways, I just want to come up here, speak on that. Let me drop the... I dropped the thing. I don't know if anybody... The thing. That was pause. I dropped the link. If anybody wants to take the link and come up here and give their opinion, y'all can. I'll probably be up here for another 10 minutes. But I just think it's crazy that in society today, that an essential worker is, well, I'm talking 2 years after COVID, an essential worker is looked at as below average or average, and played off as not like a big deal. But it's like, bruh, those are essential workers. They are needed. And when COVID hit, everybody was praising them. Everybody at home that was stuck at home washing dishes, taking care of the kid, they was cheering on the bus drivers, the truck drivers. Oh, we appreciate all the nurses, the truck drivers. But we appreciate all these people. And it's now only been 2 years, 3 years. We're probably in about 2.5 years since. And now they're just average or mediocre. They're this, like, bro, to me that was super corny of Ebony K to throw race involved in it when the original statement had nothing to do with race. All right, but you know what? I'll react to one more thing because this kind of plays off of this whole live. Basically, it kind of it goes this. Shout out to Playback Agent and Low. I didn't know this girl, that Amber Heard lady that accused Johnny Depp of what she accused him of, is now being rolled in certain movies. That's kind of funny because Johnny Depp lost a bunch of movie roles based off of her allegations, but now she gets a lot of movie roles even though she got caught falsely accusing the man. Society is fucked up today, but let's get into this.
You know what upsets me?
Why's that?
Because we don't play by the same metrics no more.
We don't.
And we let our biases run rampant and we never acknowledge them.
Mm.
And it's a shame, bro. Because we done seen many niggas get accused of shit, turns out be in this exact same position Amber Heard is in, and turns out they're lying and they lose every opportunity. She caused Johnny Depp millions of dollars. She lied on this nigga's name. Fuck the money. I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck about money. Niggas wealth. But it's about his reputation. It's about like the shit she done dragged him in. The niggas that probably cut him off because they believed the shit that she was saying. We all witnessed the trial. It was a very public affair. Boom, she's still in movies. And I know for a fact if it was the other way around, it would either take a very long time or that nigga would never see an opportunity this large again. For some reason, the Aquaman series is dedicated to have her on the show, to have her on the series as if like she's some prolific actor that can't be
I
replaced.
didn't even know she was in Aquaman.
She is.
But I'm saying she's such
and I refuse to watch him. I swear I'm not watching him. Like she didn't lie. Like she didn't blatantly lie about a nigga for years.
Now there's a bunch of like information that people are now trying to get out to like try to convince people like, oh, it just wasn't one-sided and da-da-da. Let me be completely clear. I am not naive enough to believe that in a relationship that it's just one way. It's definitely both parties have some influence in the outcome. The problem is though, is that y'all were willing to cancel and take money away, defame Johnny Depp, and didn't go back and try to rehabilitate the relationship or any of the roles that he had once
That's
more
bullshit.
information
That's
was
all
given.
bullshit. Niggas wasn't, those same people weren't saying it's not only one story to the one side to the story when she was spitting her side of the story. They wasn't saying that.
It's not that I'm of the belief that it's just one side or I just think she completely lied and everything he said is the truth. It's not that. It's not. There is no extremes to this. They both played a part. The problem is that you all decided before they even went to trial to completely disregard, try to dismantle everything that he built up throughout his career, and in the process of doing so, put a shield around her and everything she did. And it took a little bit of ounce of some questioning for them to put a pause on things, but here we are now, like not even a year removed from everything that happened, and she's already getting roles.
And look, I don't even think she shouldn't get the role. I just think I'm not gonna support that. But here's the issue for me: she didn't apologize. She didn't admit. She fought it in court. She argued her point. She didn't back down. All time. The only thing it's just time passed.
Yeah,
it's not like she apologized. There was some redemption there. There was nothing. She just I know the other way around is not moving like that, bro. Yes. I know it's not. And it's that double standard, bro. That should be driving me crazy. And it's that bias. So when people sit there and pretend like there's a patriarchy and women are just entirely disadvantaged by the current system in America, I'm like, bro, you can't think of examples like this where if you flip the roles and he was lying about her and didn't back down and there's a whole public trial and a back and forth and she lost millions of dollars and plenty of opportunities and her reputation was defamed for years. You think if he didn't apologize, he didn't redeem himself in any way whatsoever, a year later he would still have roles on AAA films, on feature films? It's impossible.
And let's replay some of the things that she blatantly lied about. Not us jumping to conclusions, not us siding one way or another. Things that factually actually happened.
I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you. You are such a baby. Grow the fuck up, Johnny. funny.
Physical fight?
I did start a physical fight.
You did. I was in fact taking a shower, and she came banging on the door, banging on the door, banging on the door. I couldn't deal with any more of that sarcastic, demeaning, aggressive, violent, toxic view. She kept banging. Then I got out of the shower and I opened the bathroom door about that much so I could have a good hold on the door in case she tried to burst in. I was right, she did. I was pushing her all the weight on the door, trying to get in. I didn't want to let her in because she was not in the best of moods. So when I'm pushing the bathroom door, trying to close it, suddenly kind of yelped. She screamed out, "Ow, my toes or my foot or something." Possibly her foot had gotten caught under the door. I knelt down to have a look, and when I knelt down on my hands and knees to look at her foot to see the injury, she kicked the bathroom door into my head. I was completely taken aback by such a corrosive, horrific move. At this point, the door was open. I stood up and I said, "What the fuck was that?" The next move was just a bang and just clocked me in the jaw.
Now, I'm sure most of y'all that are watching, there's not many, but I'm sure most of y'all watching. I appreciate everyone that's came through and is here still. Now, if a man did that to a woman, that man would lose everything. We would probably never hear about that man ever again. We'd probably never hear a peep from him. But now that the tables have turned, and it's a woman who is beating on a man, it becomes this, oh, who cares? It's not a big deal. You know, women don't even hit that hard. Like, bruh, like this is the shit that like just it annoys the shit out of me. But I know there's nothing we can do about it. It's the way society is heading, and the most that we can do is speak out against it. Which I understand a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't care to get involved in this shit, but for whatever reason, I get a little bit passionate about shit like this. Just got saw it in my own real life experience, and then seeing it play out in society is like, I don't know. I just get kind of passionate about shit like this because it's sad that as men, we have to go through life walking on eggshells to make sure we don't do this or we don't do that. Like we got to make sure that we gotta be very aware of everybody's feelings. We gotta be aware of the room and understand the vibe of the room. But women, they could just blatantly say and do whatever they want, and you just chalk it up. Just like we just got to deal with it. And to me, that I'll forever speak out against that. I'll forever use my platform, whether it's small or big, whatever it may be. I will forever use my platform to speak out against shit like this because it's just nasty. It's nasty, y'all.
And all of these things are like, not only is she on tape recording about physically bopping this man, but I mean, like literally, they would have altercations where he's walking out, and you can actively see this man being bodily harmed. Like there's no question behind it.
Yeah, you can go back and look at the trial if you need all the evidence. Everything was laid out. A lot of it is proven factually. Some of it is he say, she say. But regardless, I just know if he was the one hurting her, and then he lied about it,
and then caught on voice recording admitting that he actually did physically harm her, then in the same instance tried to downplay it, like, "Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. You're such a baby. I was just hitting you. It didn't even hurt you. It didn't even hurt you." Like, she's admitting it, but she's downplaying it, and then like she's openly acknowledging it. Come on, bro. It's not even the same realm of rules that we abide by, bro.
So if your true North Star is empathy and you want good in the world, then you would keep it equal. If someone did something fucked up, you would treat them the same way someone else did something fucked up. But the reality of this planet is people pick and choose when to apply their standards, depending on whether or not they like the person, whether or not they're relatable to the person. Like, there's plenty of examples in your life where you probably did the same thing. But when it's done by the legal system or by the people that have the ability to give brilliant opportunities, it's not like there's a lack of very star-studded, talented female stars. There's no lack of that at all. So she's not the only one that could complete this role. And she's not even a great actor. She could 100% be replaced.
Yes.
I don't know. That shit is just mind blowing to me, bro.
Especially when it comes to the whole idea of like having a back and forth with men and women in terms of like physical altercations and like how we're supposed to take that serious. This is another example of how it's never going to be taken serious on the side of women doing this to men. When every single time it occurs, not only did the actual person who was committing the crime is sitting there telling the man, it's not that big of a deal, it's fine, you didn't really get hurt, I didn't punch you, I was just hitting you, like actively admitting that she did it, but downplaying the impact of it, because regardless if he got hurt or not, like the lack of respect that you have with somebody by just repeatedly just assaulting someone is crazy, like, right? So like, it doesn't even matter if it hurts or not, that is just a crime in and of itself. That is a crime. And so the fact that that crime can be committed, and then she knows in her mind that it don't really matter because I'm a woman and you're a man, and matter of fact, it matters so little that I'm going to openly admit this to you and then continue to downplay it, and then that gets literally displayed to the entire world, and then y'all still say she can have her rollback. She can have a rollback.
You can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp. Yes, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and
Yes.
I know it's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you. See how many people believe or side with you.
It's like there's no amount of evidence I think that can convince those people.
That's nasty to say. Oh, that's so, bruh. If y'all ever had a girl that's like that, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's just nasty when women be like, yo, they're gonna believe me instead of you, and they're really being, you know what I'm saying? They're the ones being fucking aggressive and starting fucking altercations and shit. Like, bruh, like I've had a couple crazy relationships in my past, and you know, I've experienced that, and it's just nasty because as a man, when you're in the middle of it, you realize like nobody is gonna fucking believe me. Like they're gonna think that whatever she said I did, they're gonna believe it. And it's a defeating feeling of like, fuck, dog. Like I know in my heart I didn't do nothing wrong, but how are the authorities gonna perceive it? How is the court system gonna perceive it? And in this case, luckily Johnny Depp had audio recordings, video recordings of her lashing out. Like as men, it's we in society we need everything recorded. Everything as men, like whenever an altercation starts with a woman, I hope y'all hit the recording button on your phone, because if you don't and you don't got the evidence to back you up on, you know, denying whatever claims or false accusations are being put on you, bruh, you're on an uphill battle instantly. Just straight off the jump, you're on a uphill battle. And it's gonna, if you ain't got evidence to back up your claims or to defend you, bruh, GG's, dog. Like, bruh. And we've seen women do crazy shit, such as beat themselves up, physically hurt themselves, and blame it on men. Like, bruh, it's a crazy world out here for us men, and that's why I pray for every man in the world that's, you know, that's trying to do right in life, that's, you know, getting brought down by fucking crazy women like this. And it's fucking disgusting that Disney ended and mind you, I may not have been a big fan, but the Pirates of the Caribbean or Caribbean, however you want to say it, that series ended because of these allegations. They ended that series. They had one more movie coming out, and they ended it because these allegations against Johnny Depp came out, and they ended other movie roles for him. They like that I think he missed out on multi-million-dollar deals because of these allegations. And it's fucking disgusting to know this. And then a year and a half later, the same lady that falsely accused Johnny Depp is now getting put in roles such as the Aquaman. Now I get it. A lot of, man, we don't give a fuck. Who Aquaman? Like that man. He ain't nobody. He ain't, what kind of corny ass superhero was he? Aquaman, like, bro, ain't nobody fuck with Aquaman like that. But the details of the situation is nasty. How she is being offered movie roles to make hundreds of thousands, maybe $1 million in a role, and Johnny Depp lost all that, and now he's still not like being like, I think MTV actually put him on the award show, so he did have some lenience there. They was able to, you know, fuck with Johnny Depp then, and they had him in a couple of the MTV like spaceman like editing things they had going on as far as the MTV music awards. So Johnny Depp didn't like get affected there, but trust and believe he was affected in other areas, other movie roles. And it's just like, bro, like now this lady's being offered this movie role, and it's nasty. Like, bro, cancel culture does not go both ways.
You can move off your bias, that's fine. But it just, you don't treat assault seriously.
You don't
only
at
treat
all.
it seriously when it's happening to somebody you think is a vulnerable person. But I would argue completely tarnishing a man's reputation and his opportunities. You put him in a very vulnerable situation. Vice versa is never happening. But it should get me tight. I'm not watching that series. I'm not watching the movies. I don't watch Aquaman just off the strength of that. I never watched him just off the strength of that. And I refuse to still to this point. I'm not going to say take it from the role. It's their money.
Yeah.
Like the publishers are spending money on that film, and people are gonna go decide to watch it. Like everyone is participating
She's not
in
that
the creation
important of a role.
I also agree.
But that's the other part that's so crazy. It's almost as if like they're taking a stance on this. Like we're going to take this stance of this insignificant role. Like she could be replaced just like that, and nobody would really even remember what role she played in the first movie. But the fact that you're willing to like keep her there, it's like you're taking a stance. You are taking a stance, and it's a horrible stance to take. You don't even have to come out with any type of actual report or claim or some type of acknowledgement of what's going on. You don't have to do none of that, bro. As soon as it was revealed that, and regardless of who you think won or lost, she could have actually won the trial. But as soon as it came out, it was revealed and it was undeniable that she was physically assaulting a man in a relationship with this man, or just in general. But she should have lost it right then and there, regardless if she won the trial or not. But we know for a fact it's not consistent, bro. It's just not.
Yeah, as soon as the public backlash dies down a little bit and people aren't thinking about Amber Heard, Johnny Depp no more and all the lies she told, then we'll just give her the role back. But let's wait it out a little bit. Let's wait it out. Let's do a little PR tactic. Let's wait it out. And that's what they did. So congratulations. I'm not watching the film. Let us know what y'all think in the comment section down.
Yo, facts. Fuck Aquaman. I ain't fucking with Aquaman over here. And actually, I was gonna end stream, but I actually have time to react to one more topic that was, is a hot topic right now. And I'm talking about Rollo, the ATL fam goon, biggest drug dealing gangster, realest motherfucker out of Atlanta, bought the whole apartment projects, is being accused of snitching or cooperating with the feds. Now, I've held, like I said, on a lot of topics, I hold my opinion to see how things unfold. And I think waiting to hear this gentleman's response was very logical. I've seen a lot of YouTubers, people on Twitter jump out the window and accuse Rollo of being a snitch. But, and I'm not saying he's not, but with a logical thinking cap on, there's actually been no paperwork that implicates Rollo's statements put so-and-so in jail. So technically, we cannot call him a snitch, but we'll just get into this video. I'll let y'all formulate your own opinion. Well, shout out the gentleman of this YouTube channel, Mr. 1090 Jake himself. If y'all want to go peep other videos he has or this thing in full and don't want to hear about my reaction to this video, then you can go to End of Sentence, peep it out there. And you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to deal with the interruptions of my annoying ass voice popping in and out or giving my opinion here and there. But let's react to this. Shout out 1090 Jake and Ascendants. I'm hoping that this video will not be brought down. Hopefully this is in fair use and I'm able to react to great content such as 1090 Jake's.
I ain't ratted on no goddamn man on this earth, dog. I ain't ratted on no goddamn man on this earth, dog. I was presented this situation where a person goddamn was willing to goddamn take some money to take a charge for me, and goddamn, I wanted to go that route. And the only thing I have admitted to was trying to trick the feds and manipulate the feds. It's just how the game go, bro. You don't let the big dog go down. You take the fall for the man can stay out and eat, bro.
97 months. The federal sentence of Terrell Davis, who's more commonly known as the Atlanta rapper Rollo. Incarcerated since 2018 for his role in trafficking marijuana across the country, this was the trap star who purchased an entire apartment complex in the hood, turning it into a fortified base where those under his command lived rent-free and protected the property with high-caliber firepower. Instagram posts with Floyd Mayweather amounts of cash and a caption that would later be used against him in court would highlight the luxury lifestyle of one of Atlanta's most infamous and carefree drug dealers. Even with being sentenced to federal prison, Rollo just recently released an album from behind bars that was entirely recorded in prison, entitled 97 Months. But only days after its release, one of Rollo's ex-associates lit a match that started a fire in the house of hip-hop. John Doe, who can be seen in multiple pictures with Rollo and supporting him during his legal trouble, took to Instagram with a surprising caption reading, "These days, they will give a rat a pass long as he rich." Way too many rat sympathizers out here eating for clout or opportunity. Don't ask me why I ain't post that rat new mixtape. I don't support rats. I don't give a fuck who you are or what you got. If you broke the code, you're not my type of guy. I'm about to draw the line in the sand and force y'all rat lovers to pick a side. The strong accusation would soon be followed by a post to an Instagram account named News Made It, with 2 pages of paperwork alleging Rollo's lawyer attempted to seal documents in the case to keep the public from knowing Rollo cooperated. Rollo would respond to the accusations with a long caption saying, "When there's no loophole in a case, you gotta make a loophole." He'd swear he never cooperated and not one person can say they're in jail because of him, and that his plug, his alleged shooter, and another man the government questioned were all dead. Rollo's response would lead many to assume he must have told on the dead men he was referring to. Following up with a second post, Rollo would go on to say he never snitched or gave up any of his plugs. He got more time than anyone in his case, and he's still locked up while everyone else is out. Now, I reached out to John Doe, and while he hasn't released 167 pages, he sent me some stuff y'all have never even seen. And come to find out, he had reached out to me weeks before any of this was even exposed. Back in early April, John Doe had apparently sent me a message offering Rollo's paperwork for an undisclosed amount of money. Either ignoring it or not seeing the message, he'd send it to me again after I reached out and explained he initially didn't expose the paperwork because he was trying to sell it, so Rollo's co-defendants who actually exposed it could make a profit. According to the paperwork, back in 2018, not long after Rollo was taken into federal custody, he'd agreed to cooperate in the case. But an investigation into Rollo's own lawyer would turn...
Yo, to the people that are still here, if you could type in the chat, let me know. Do you think a person trying to pimp the feds or trick the feds, and them setting up a deal with someone to where they take some of the charges, like Rollo claims he offered a gentleman $400,000 to take some charges. Do y'all think a man pimping the feds in that manner of tricking them and having someone take the charge that initially had nothing to do with the situation, do you think that's a form of snitching or cooperating, even if you and that person have the specific agreement of, I'm getting paid $400,000 to take these charges? Do y'all think that's snitching, or what would y'all consider that?
Turn into a 2-year delay in Rollo's cooperation. The paperwork that's recently hit the internet isn't actually from Rollo's cooperation, but court transcripts from 2020. On the bottom of page 3, Rollo's lawyer would introduce himself as Brian Steele and insist to the judge that this be a closed hearing under seal. He'd continue on page 4 by saying there are so many items that are going to come out that affect Rollo and affect another person in the bar community, referring to Rollo's previous lawyer. On page 5, Rollo's current lawyer would say he understands that eventually the public has to know because the report and sentencing recommendation will be public. The prosecutor would oppose the motion to seal, and the judge would clear out the courtroom aside from Rollo, his defense, and the government. The prosecutor would continue saying this case and situation does not involve any of the things that would require the hearing to be closed off to the public. He'd state the issue was about a proffer that occurred at which Rollo provided information to the government. The prosecutor then said it's his belief that Rollo and his lawyer want the fact that he cooperated kept out of the public's knowledge. But that isn't the only issue. The second issue was Rollo's former lawyer, Ashutosh Joshi, was a target of the investigation himself and alleged to be the possible drug supplier. Ash Joshi is the same lawyer who represented Gucci Mane in his infamous murder case.
Wait, hold on. They're claiming this guy right here is the guy that's supplying these this big time dealer Rollo with all his work. This guy, the lawyer? Yo, that's crazy if so. God damn. Looks like Frankie.
The prosecutor would say that Rollo's argument is the government knew Joshi was targeted in the investigation when he sat down as Rollo's lawyer during the proffer. Rollo's current lawyer would reply by asking if the judge decides not to close the courtroom, then to refer to the proffer as a meeting, because people know the definition of a proffer, which simply put is when a defendant agrees to provide information to the prosecutor. Rollo's lawyer would continue by saying, if it comes out that Rollo gave information, that's a lot of information on a lot of people that are well known in his community, and it would not look good for Rollo. According to the paperwork, Rollo provided agents with his password to his cell phone during the proffer, in which the government was able to find.
See, I didn't peep this. Yeah, that's crazy, dog. You offer that's essentially being like, yo, I won't tell you nothing, but give me my phone and you can go through my shit. And they're gonna fucking, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be able to connect the dots to the feds. Like, bro, that's I could see why. I guess I could retract my statement at the beginning of this reaction as to we can't say that Rollo didn't snitch, because essentially this is a form of snitching. You are cooperating. You gave your passcode to the feds, and you didn't initially have to do that. So you cooperated, and man, because this is my thing. If you're in a car and it gets pulled over, and you and the homie that are in the whip are, be like, yo, I got, if this is my third strike, let's say, the guy's like, yo, this is my third strike. I can't go down for all this weed. If I give you $25,000, can you take this charge for me? And whatnot. And that person agrees. Then that's an agreement between them people. But I understand how when the paperwork comes out that someone could, say that person was snitching. But if that person and the person that was charged with that can come out and say, no, we had an agreement, like, you know what I'm saying? I told homie I'd take the charge, then I guess that would remove the snitching allegations. But on paper, it's not a good look. And then now seeing this right here where he says he gave the federal government his passcode to his phone. Yeah, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Tremendous amounts of inculpatory evidence. Crazy inculpatory evidence. But at the time this happened, Rollo had conflicted counsel, as his lawyer was also under investigation. Exhibit 4 in the case, which is sealed, is a 2-page proffer agreement requiring full cooperation. But within notes, Rollo's lawyer at the same time was instructing him not to discuss the supplier, who was allegedly the lawyer's business partner, which essentially blew Rollo's cooperation deal. The judge would read Rollo supposedly gave information in the proffer against other people, alleged transactions, and other alleged crimes.
Wait, what? Proposes of the issue in front of me, the specifics of this information that Mr. Davis, now if y'all don't know, that's Rollo's last name, his real name is Terrell Davis, supposedly gave in the June 6th proffer against other persons, other alleged transactions other alleged crimes, the specifics of those are not relevant to this issue. That sounds crazy, dog.
Rollo's lawyer would say they
Because it doesn't say one person, it says persons. So that's multiple people. So that, to me, that verbiage doesn't speak to having a deal with someone where Rollo offered money for him to take charges. It sounds like Rollo spoke on multiple people. It says persons with an S. I'm just stating, I'm just pointing that out. Let's continue.
had an agreement with the court, the proffer would not be shared with the public, and that Rollo was discussing the entire marijuana trafficking issue, all the flights taken, the pilots knowing about it, and then who's the supplier, which according to the government was Rollo's previous lawyer and his business partner, Manu Jones. Rollo's current lawyer would continue to say Rollo is cooperating against heroin, methamphetamines, he knows about shootings, and the marijuana, but he's not answering the questions. At the same time, the government was getting information from both Rollo and Rollo's previous lawyer, who was under investigation, and the government dragged the lawyer's investigation out. 2 years had now passed, leaving Rollo unable to cooperate against anyone in the case because they'd all already been revealed. In response to the paperwork, Rollo's team would post to his website a preview of Rollo's autobiography in which he'd seemed to admit to his cooperation, but with a strategic twist. Rollo would claim a man reached out to him with a way to pimp the feds by essentially paying someone to take the fall for crimes Rollo was going to tell the government was committed. Rollo's lawyer reached out to the government saying his client had information he was willing to share and a meeting was scheduled. Rollo gave what he thought would benefit him and his team without actually affecting him and his team, but the feds weren't going for it. Uninterested in what Rollo was offering, the feds wanted to know about Rollo's involvement in shootings and murders. Unable to provide them the information they sought, the meeting was then ended. While Rollo's attempt at pimping the feds failed, Rollo's new lawyer was able to attack a new angle, as Rollo's old lawyer allegedly conspired with the government against Rollo while also representing him. The conflicting lawyer led to a prosecutor's misconduct motion in which Rollo attempted to get the entire case thrown out. That too failed, and in the end, Rollo was sentenced. What's interesting is his
Now I see the stack of money right here. This is what essentially got Rollo caught up. Being Mr. Flashy on Instagram, posting all this money, all these cars, all he was being Mr. Flashy. That's what essentially got him caught up, if you don't know. Let's continue.
Previously stated, Rollo's lawyer was fighting to keep his cooperation sealed and understood that at sentencing, it would be revealed. But within Rollo's sentencing transcripts, cooperation was never mentioned. At no point did the judge, lawyer, or prosecution highlight any cooperation which would have been used towards a sentencing reduction. Now, the question that's gone unanswered is which co-defendant or co-defendants actually exposed the paperwork. None of them have come forward to speak on the situation aside from John Doe, who isn't involved in the actual case.
Hello? Assalamu alaikum. What's law? You at work? Yeah. So do you mind me telling the internet that you tried to take charges for me and all that? No, man, you know that, bro. I say, no, man, you my co-defendant. He had nothing to do with our case. So I don't know why the hell he acting like I done told him all my co-defendants. So that's what I'm trying to clarify. The whole world think I just told on my co-defendants. That is lame as hell for that shit, bro. Me, man, that shit lame as hell, bro. Like, bro, that shit lame, bro. Like, you know how mad I'm gonna have that shit, bro. That shit, they're like, bro, all this Muslim shit you say you Muslim bitch ass nigga hot fucking brother fall, bro. Bitch ass clock, that shit lame, bro. That shit got me heated up for real, nigga. I can't even punch that word. This shit come up to
So if y'all don't know what's going on, this is Rollo calling one of his co-defendants and asking him to, if it's okay if Rollo says, wait, let's play that back. Sorry, I want to make sure I understood that right.
situation, aside from John Doe, who isn't involved in the actual case.
Hello? Assalamu alaikum. What's law? You at work? Yeah. So do you mind me telling the internet that you tried to take charges for me and all that? No, man, you know that, bro.
Oh, so he called to get a confirmation if he could go on his Twitter account and say and speak for this guy and say that he paid him to take some charges, and dude was like, hell nah, damn.
I say, you my co-defendant. He had nothing to do with our case out. So I don't know why the hell he acting like I done told him on my co-defendant side. That's what I'm trying to clarify. The whole world think I just told on my co-defendants. That is lame as hell for that shit, bro. Me, man, that's shit lame as hell, bro. Like, bro, that shit lame, bro. Like, they you know how mad I'm behind that shit, bro. That shit, they're like, bro, all this Muslim shit you say you Muslim bitch ass them hot fucking brother fall, bro. Bitch ass cop, that shit lame, bro. That shit got me heated up for real. I can't even punch that word. This keep coming up. I'm gonna tell you nigga, man, butt around. I was somebody watch. Then after, and you say you gonna get a handle, now he make false accusation, bro. That shit, I ain't real, bro. You know, like for real, I'm brought heat behind that shit, bro. For real, bro. That's some bitch ass shit, bro. That shit lame, nigga. For real, bro. Don't do no pussy ass shit like that, bro. So what I'm trying to clarify.
Wait.
So what I'm
Hey, y'all, peep this. I just peeped this. Look at the time on the phone. Watch. It'll go from, I think, 23:30 to 40.
nigga, for real, bro. Don't do no pussy ass shit like that, bro.
It's at 36, and then it skips to 40. So there's a couple seconds of audio that was clipped out. I wonder what that's about.
So what I'm trying to clarify is that did I ever tell on you? You my co-defendant. You my little brother who tried to take the charge. Yes, but you could tell the internet. I'm saying, answer the question. Like, did I? Nah, nigga, you ain't never told me, nigga. Brother who tried to take the charge. Tell on you. You my trying to clarify is that did I ever tell on you? You my co-defendant. You my little brother who tried to take the charge. Yes, but you could tell the internet. I'm saying, answer the question. Like, did I? Nah, nigga, you ain't never told me, nigga. I just want to make sure.
And what would the motive be behind John Doe exposing the paperwork? Initially, reaching out and seeking money. He claimed the money would be for the same co-defendants who supplied him with the paperwork, but John Doe hasn't revealed who that is. In between Instagram posts about Rollo, John would promote his business as well as his own music, leading some to think this was a promotional run. But John would stand on the only motive for him releasing it is he felt played standing behind somebody who he feels should have never cooperated in any way, regardless of if it affected anyone or if Rollo had a fall guy. At the end of the day, the 167 pages still remain sealed, along with many other documents, meaning nobody but those directly involved in the case have access and the ability to release them. As far as if Rollo is a snitch, none of the documents released have named anyone affected by anything Rollo said. Rollo himself has admitted he embellished stories and had fall men willing to take charges for money. The feds didn't acknowledge any cooperation that assisted their investigation, and Rollo didn't receive any benefit, sentencing reduction, or even consideration of lesser time for cooperation. In the end, it would appear Rollo attempted to lie to the feds and failed, resulting in a false cooperation that his lawyer tried to keep under wraps, knowing the effect it would have on his career if it got to the internet. Now, this entire case is wild. And immediately when I heard about the situation, I started looking at the paperwork. I got in contact with John Doe. I'm hearing everything he's saying. I'm blown away by it. But at the same time, I questioned, why not release all 167 pages? Why just bit by bit it? And I mean, yeah, if I seen his message, because I don't remember seeing his message beforehand, but if I saw a message saying, yo, I got paperwork on somebody, give me some bread, I'm the one that finds the paperwork. I'm not paying you for paperwork because I'm not going to stamp anything I can't find myself, because I'm going to go directly to the source. And I'm going to say right now, none of this paperwork is publicly available. None of you can get it. I can't get it. Only Rollo and the people associated within the case have access to this. So nobody can stamp shit. The fact that Rollo is saying, yeah, this happened and this happened, but this is how it happened, is confirming the paperwork. But this is the thing. John Doe recorded Rollo speaking, but edited out the parts he didn't want anyone to hear on what Rollo was saying. I commented on Rollo's picture on Instagram. I was able to get in contact, direct contact with him. So everybody on Instagram was commenting like, oh, white boy, mind your business. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. Not even knowing that I'm on the phone with the same person you over here trying to defend that you've never spoken to a day in your life, which is crazy because people just went to immediately assuming and trolling. But let me get back to the point here. I was able to hear Rollo out from his perspective on how everything played out. Reading the paperwork, I was able to get John Doe to keep sending things. And as he kept sending them, I'm reading through it from an unbiased perspective. His own lawyer was saying, my client has spoke about this, my client knows about this and that. He's trying to make his client sound like fucking Batman because that's going to make Rollo look good.
God damn.
The feds was saying, ain't none of this doing nothing for us. So the fact is, whatever Rollo was given wasn't cutting it. Nothing says it was used against anybody. No one's come forward saying it was used against them. So Rollo's saying, yeah, I made up some shit, lied, and gave it to the feds, hoping it would work, seems like it happened because he didn't even benefit from what he actually did. There was no sentencing reduction that I saw. There was no points. There was no consideration. Hey, he tried to do this and none of that. And then because his own lawyer was allegedly the plug, which is something out of a fucking movie, and his lawyer was telling the government this and that while telling him this and that, that played out into a 2-year delay in which he couldn't have cooperated against anybody because of how much time had gone by. Everyone was already wrapped up. The feds knew everything that they needed. So they want to know about murders and shootings, and Rollo isn't talking about it. So in my opinion, I don't think he snitched. And I talked to a couple of YouTubers about this. I talked to Seti Nash, King AK-47. Shout out to them. I broke it down like this from a perspective of, if me and Seti Nash are inside of a car, we get pulled over, and I got a gun on me. I'm a felon, he's not. Yo, bro, I'm going to face this much time. If I get caught with this, you're going to face a lot less. I'm going to give you $50K to take this gun charge. If they ask me whose gun it is, I'm going to say it's yours. He's like, all right, bet. I give him the gun. Police take me out of the car. Hey, whose gun is that? That's his gun. We already made a deal. He got the $50K. He took the charge. I'm free. But if someone later exposes the paperwork, look, 1090J told on Seti Nash. He said that was his gun because that was something that we established we were going to do. What Rollo is saying in this situation is he found someone or a group of people or whatever the fuck the situation is, and he was going to give $400,000 fucking dollars. And y'all watching this can't tell me you wouldn't be willing to sit down for a year for $400,000. So he's saying he found.
Hey, yo, y'all sitting down in jail for $400,000? Let me know. Y'all, I don't think it'd be for a year. It definitely would be for maybe 2-3 years. So would y'all sit in jail for that amount of money?
Found somebody that was willing to take some money to take the fall. He was going to say, oh, yeah, this person was moving this and they had this over here. They did that. And the feds listened to it. They wasn't buying it. They didn't go for it. That's the situation we're left with. At the end of the day, the internet is going to run with what they want to run with. They're going to hear him. They're going to hear the audio. they're not going to hear about the rest of it. A lot of people don't want to hear about the rest of it. I'm not going to say John Doe is wrong, but I would have liked to hear the conversation unedited, to hear what he was saying back. But let me know y'all thoughts and comments. Maybe y'all feel a different way, and I want to hear it. It's 1090 Jake.
Yo, shout out 1090 Jake and then the Sens. Got great content over there. I'm a little indifferent about this situation because I understand, like, yeah, if you have an agreement with a guy and you know he's gonna take the charges for whether it's a gun or drugs, whatever it may be, I can understand that, like, yo, because like that, believe it or not, that actually happens in crazy situations. Like, there's people I know that rode around with fucking stupid amounts of weed on them. They got pulled over and they had fall guys in the whip to take the charges. And so I understand when you have an agreement with someone and you offer a certain amount of money for them to take the fall and whatever it may be. And, you know what I'm saying? I understand that, but also it gets tricky because it's like, bro, like in the paperwork, like Jake was saying, like if you see a shit on paper, you're like, yo, homie, snitch for sure. So that's why, like, I be careful with jumping out the window on calling people snitches and shit because you really need to see the paperwork to understand. Like, if you ain't got the black and white paperwork to prove your claims, you basically are bullshitting. That if you ask me, it's basically hearsay at that point. Because without the paperwork, it's just someone giving an opinion, to be honest. It's someone trying to paint someone out to be whatever it is, whatever narrative they're trying to paint about the person. But as y'all heard, 1090 Jake said that, like, through his investigation, the 167 documents are sealed, so nobody can get to them except for the people involved in the case. I think it'd be interesting to see that paperwork before people jumped out the window and called Rollo a snitch. But, you know, in today's time, Rollo was really respected in his neighborhood. He was always looked at as this guy that fucking came from nothing and was posting fucking pics on Instagram of $1 million, $2 million, whether it was in a house or on a plane. And he was always looked at as like one of the guys in rap that went down in a RICO case and didn't snitch. And now, as soon as any inclination of Rollo snitching, people just fucking jump on it like fucking flies on shit. Oh, Rollo, you know, they got the YouTube titles, Rollo snitch, all this other shit. And it's like, bro, like, the only inclination that we have of Rollo snitching or cooperating with the feds is Rollo trying to say, yo, I had a fall guy, or yo, you know, I worked out a deal with a guy to take some of the charges. Like, to me, that was kind of Rollo insinuating that, yeah, he did cooperate a little, but it was, he's trying to claim it was already like set up that way for have the fall guy take the charges so he didn't face whatever amount of time. I mean, shit, 97 months or something, that's already a long ass time. So you might as well take all the charges. But, you know, I think until we see those documents, it's not logical to call Rollo a snitch if no one behind his cooperation was arrested or put in jail based off of what he said. But there's just verbiage in that paperwork that kind of like makes me side eye or like, I don't know, because bro, giving them the passcode to your phone or you know, like the verbiage in the paperwork stated there was multiple people in the neighborhood, in that specific neighborhood that was affected by Rollo's cooperation and whatever information he gave. So it's a tricky situation. But I think until there's substantial proof, such as the Tory Lane situation or 6ix9ine situation, there's substantial proof of them snitching, whether it's taking the stand or, you know, writing statements up against people, like whatever it may be, those guys are actual rats. Like, I can't completely say Rollo snitch until I see the paperwork or the proof that whatever statements he gave actually affected people, because he's running with the narrative, oh, I was pimping the feds. And if some of y'all don't know what that means, it means tricking the feds into thinking that another person was the actual person committing the crime. Like that's why they call them fall guys. Those are guys that are willing to take the charges for the bigger fish, or the whale of the situation, so to say, so that he continues to feed the streets and he's able to provide. Because I believe it or not, I think Rollo would have a ton of fall guys, considering he bought a whole apartment complex and allowed people that were already there and his homies to move in and live rent free. So it's like, you know, that's kind of like a not a weapon, but a resource that drug dealers could use to have fall guys so they don't go down. But Rollo, you already faced 97 months, my G. I don't know what else you could pin on people, but I think before we jump out the window and say Rollo's a full-blown fucking snitch, you know, I think we should see the paperwork. But I also understand where other people fall in the specific situation as like, nah, any kind of cooperation, you a rat. I understand that too. I completely understand that. But with a logical brain, if there's a deal that Rollo made, such as giving someone $400,000 to take some charges, bruh, I can't really argue with him. Like, that person agreed to that. It wasn't like Rollo just blindsided that person and said, yo, so-and-so's doing this. Nah, there was a deal. There was an agreement between those two people. So it's a wobbler. It's a wobbler. It gets tricky, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, salute to 1090 Jake on that great breakdown of the situation. I respect 1090 Jake's opinion on shit, because he deals within facts and paperwork. He doesn't just jump out the window and accuse people of certain shit and titles that they're not really are. Let's see. Yo, what up, Sneaker Jax? Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was amazing. I'm gonna have to watch that with my daughter tomorrow or Saturday. Shout out to Tomcat for sending a long ass DM. Oh shit. Sounds like Tomcat's in his feelings. But I said this in the beginning of the live. No matter the amount of great things you're doing on this platform, there's always going to be people that hate. There's always going to be people that tried to knock you off your seat, knock you out your seat, and try to throw you off and trick you out your position. But I think we just have to understand that comes with the territory. So Tomcat hate him, bruh. Tomcat put that on himself. Like, that's the thing, is a lot of people want to point the finger at everyone else or at people in the Mahalo network, but they're not willing to take accountability, whether it's them not knowing that they got fake sneakers, or someone not communicating and getting certain time slots clarified that's when a battle's happening. A lot of people don't want to take accountability and they just point fingers. And to me, that shit's super corny. But I also understand that comes with the territory when you're doing great things, such as giving out over $200,000+ to battlers. And I'm not talking just one battler. I'm talking every battle. Both battlers get paid. Whether you win or lose, you get paid in the Mahalo Battle League. So, you know, people are going to be salty. They're going to try to throw dirt, try to put paint where it ain't on a situation, and present a narrative that really ain't true. So, bruh, to the haters, eat a dick. We give a fuck less. We still gonna do what we do. Like, bruh, the amount of great feedback that we have received specifically on the Mahalo Battle League outweighs the negative. Of course, you're gonna have the salty people, but we've had people in the Mahalo Battle League I'll speak for myself, that I didn't know at all come into the Battle League and either win or lose. I think I'll use an example. Double Up E. I didn't really know, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch the other platforms that he is on, such as fucking Punk Ass Dells and whoever else he may be watching. I just don't watch, so I didn't really know about Double Up E, and he came over and he battled and he made money on both battles, whether he lost or win. And even there's people that I don't fuck with necessarily just because I just don't fuck with them come into the battle league and have won, such as Bundy Kicks. Like, bruh, there's like to say that the Mahalo Battle League is biased or whatever. Because I peeped out Jack's live earlier and I picked up a couple of pieces that he was talking about because I haven't really been in touch with what's going on. But to say the Mahalo Battle League is biased, you're full of shit and you're just fucking out here fucking being a crybaby and want someone to pat your back and rub your belly and tell you it's okay. Bruh, fuck out of here with that bias shit. We love everyone. We allow everyone to come in and battle. And as far as Tomcat, if Tomcat would have just been honest, like, yeah, bro, I got UAs. Is the other battler okay with me using them? And if the other battler okays, guess what? The judges are gonna judge the sneaker as if it's authentic. So to say that we're biased or we don't fuck with certain shit or try to paint narratives such as that, like, bro, eat a dick, dog. Like, for real, because as long as both battlers are able to agree, yo, this person's got UAs, then it's cool. Because if they don't agree and the other person's pulling out fucking really hype sneakers or really hard sneakers to get that are considered grails, and they're using that against the other battler, and if that battler fucking was facetious as far as using UAs and didn't clarify that he was, how does that make the Mahalo Battle League look? Like, essentially, Tomcat, whatever bullshit you was trying to pull, you essentially would have made the Mahalo Battle League look bad if we didn't call you out on your shit. Like, bruh, you tried to pull an okie doke, and people caught you in your bullshit, and that's what it is. Because it's funny that Tomcat went from, oh, yo, I appreciate y'all put me up on game because, you know, we always give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this person doesn't know they bought fake sneakers. Cool. So when Tomcat was like, yo, I appreciate y'all put me up on game, whatever, it was cool then. But then once people were kind of laughing at his situation and whatnot, that's when he went on the whole fucking sympathy tour and wanted people to rub his back and belly. And it's like, bruh, the chat gonna do what the chat do. There's no way the host or the judges can stop that. So just because you was offended by what people are saying in the comments, bruh, you're a grown man. You should know what you got. Like, come on, bruh. Like, we need to stop coddling people and being like, oh, you know, me. This is just my opinion at this point. Me personally, I feel like coddling people and being like, oh, they don't know, bruh. If you a 25-year-old plus man and 30, 40, 50, whatever it may be, bruh, you gotta be on your shit. You gotta know what you got. You using your money and acting like you don't know what you bought. Like, bruh, fuck out of here. Like, I don't believe that shit not one bit. So, you know, Tomcat, keep crying, but guess what? The Mahalo Battle League's gonna keep doing what they do. There is no way those all fight. Yeah, facts, dog. Facts. There was no way, dog. And this is the thing is, I when the situation happened, I felt bad. Like, oh damn, maybe he don't know, because the way he was grabbing the shoe and squeezing it and bending it, it was almost as if he didn't know what he had. Because anybody that intentionally buys fakes, they're not gonna fall into the bend the shoe thing, because if they know that's one way people can tell if a sneaker was fake. So that's why I did give him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, yo, maybe he didn't know, because look at how he's fucking folding that sneaker. He was crunching it and crushing it up and shit, and he was like, see look, almost as if he didn't know what he had. But then when you go on this fucking sympathy tour and trying to paint the Mahalo Battle League out to be whatever he was trying to paint us out to be, it's like, then bro, go fuck yourself, dog. Like, nobody's standing for that shit. Nobody's going for that shit. Like, bro, we have to, the Mahalo Network has to protect the Battle League at some sort of cost, because we have to have integrity within the battle. We can't just be allowing people with fake sneakers to come up and be facetious in their battle and acting like they're real sneakers and battling people that got authentic sneakers that, you know, worked hard for what they got to then be played or tricked by these people that are coming in with fake sneakers and acting like they're real. Like, bruh, we can't go for that as a league. Like, we have to have some sort of fucking accountability or some sort of standards within the league, to where, such as if you have fake sneakers, that's cool, that's all good, but you have to make that evident and clear to the host or to one of the Mahalo members, to then be able to correlate with the other battler to agree that you could use your UAs. Like that's a rule. That's how it gotta go. Like, bruh. And when we smell bullshit and we're able to see the bullshit and be like, okay, this person was being a dickhead and was trying to play us, we have to then call that out. That's just how that go. Yo, what's good, Perm? Look, I don't know Tomcat, but he's acting like a bitch. Tomcat is a great father, though. Hey, bro, I don't know nothing about that. I ain't speaking on. He is acting like Dribbles, that big Perm. God damn, DL throwing shots out here. Boom, boom, boom. Hi, Perm. Hi. You know, man, fuck Bobby and his birthday. I hope he eats a shit cake on his birthday, bro. Fuck Bobby and his motherfucking birthday. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Make sure tomorrow night y'all go check out the homie E1 Kicks channel. It's EW1_Kicks. KICKS. Make sure you go check out his channel tomorrow night at 10:15 Eastern time. And if you can do the math for whatever time zone you're in, just know Eastern, it's 10:15. The battle will begin. Hella Lace versus Fat Cat Greedy. It's definitely going to be a good one. If y'all don't know these people, I'm going to let y'all know they collection is, as they would say, it's got range. They collection's got range. No, I'm just kidding. But they collection is fucking ill. They got tons of fucking great sneakers within their collection. Hella Lace, from what the people have said, Hella Lace got the best on-foot picks on IG. So if y'all want to go check them out, Hella Lace is her IG channel. And then we got Fat Cat Greedy. He writes obituaries, essays, fucking midterm papers when he posts about a specific sneaker. And those are just jokes, but Greedy always gives great details that either a situation that he was going through when the sneaker was releasing, such as maybe camping out, or the process that he had to go through to get the sneaker, or maybe a specific situation that was happening around that sneaker when it was being released. Fat Cat's able to put you up on game in that sense on his IG. But yeah, these two battlers got a great collection, and I'm expecting a lot of heat to be pulled and a lot of punches to be thrown, because if y'all know Fat Cat Greedy, he from New York, Harlem to be specific. He likes to pop his shit. Hella, I don't know specifically, but I know she's somewhere in Cali. You know, they like to pop their shit. So it's going to be a good one, I think. I think it's going to be a good one. Tomcat, take the link, pussy. Now, Tomcat won't do that. Debate me, Tomcat. Their collections are real facts. No pun intended. Oh, what you give me eyeballs for? Their hands don't shake when the shoes shine. Yo, pause. But yo, everybody that stopped by, I appreciate y'all. Hopefully, I don't know how it's gonna go, because last time I reacted to shit like this, after I ended the live, YouTube gave my video a block because of Breakfast Club. So I don't know if the Griot or 1090 Jake has they shit or set up to where as soon as the YouTube ID picks up their voice or video, they're able to block the person's video. So if y'all don't see this live stream up after that's why, because I don't feel like posting this live stream and having to trim out, you know, specific shit that I react to that's solely around what I was reacting to. So if the Griot or whatever podcast or 1090 Jake have it set up to where they, you know, whoever reacts to their shit, it gets took down instantly, just know that's what happened. Yeah, I just wanted to come up here and kick it with y'all. It's been a minute. I haven't been able to post. I'm currently in the process of getting ready for graduation. Yeah, that's right. Your boy is about to graduate. In the next, not this week, but the following week on the 12th is when I will be walking for my graduation. So that's super exciting for me. Now I'm just trying to figure out what college I want to go to as a 4-year, whether it's UNO or Creighton. I might go with Creighton, considering the degree that I'm receiving. They have some great programs for business and psychology, because the way I set my degree up is I took those two main courses. I did a little bit of arts, but I don't really want to go for a degree in arts. I'd rather stay within business or psychology. So yeah, hopefully I can build off of that, be able to go to a 4-year college and kill it there, and be able to just gradually build up my what do I want to call it, my utility belt. You know what I'm saying? Build up my utility belt to be able to provide a better life for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just to touch on the beginning topic, fuck feminism. That shit's a crock of shit. It's a fucking victimhood, entitled fucking ideology for women. It's not for the betterment of society. So anything that's against the betterment of society, I think, is bullshit and should be thrown to the wayside. Bring back nuclear families, bring back 2-parent households, and being able to bring a kid up and show kid about true love, and not getting into a relationship solely for the money. I'm seeing this new age of feminism, push women into, if the man ain't got $50,000 in his bank account and don't make $100,000 a year, don't get with him because he's below average. He's this and he's that. Like, bruh, to me, that's a bunch of crock of shit. Women should learn how to build with a man. Men are completely fucking sick and tired of dealing with women that are solely focused on their wallet and bank account before even getting to know that person. They want men to lead with their wallet, but women only lead with their beauty. And let's be honest, beauty goes away, money doesn't. If that person is able to sustain money and be able to keep the money, money is there forever. Beauty doesn't. So if you're only bringing beauty to the relationship as your leverage, guess what? It's going to fade away. And what else do I want? Just tap on. Whoa, hey, pause. Yeah, Eagle fans, I'm still alive. I'm still up here popping my shit. You know what I'm saying? We at the 3-hour and 1 minute mark. But I'm gonna get off here. I just got done, like, as we was reacting to 1090 Jake. I just got my son situated, so he's in his chair, and I'm about to feed him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Do the fatherly duties. But yeah, fuck feminism. Stop believing we're in a patriarchal society. We see women in position of power all the time, and that's great for them. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but stop pushing a bullshit ass narrative and trying to fucking mentally fuck people or mentally mind trick people into believing that they're a victim or they're under some sort of fucking control of men. Like, man, fuck out of here with that shit, dog. Like, bruh. To me personally, the men that I know, the men with integrity that actually care about building a family and having their legacy live on through their kids, those good men are there because they have integrity and they essentially care about that woman and their child and their kids. Like, for me personally as a man, and I may be just speaking for myself, but me personally as a man, when I get involved with someone, I'm there because I care about that person. And I'm not trying to waste my time constantly dating different people, constantly dating different women to figure out who I want. Like, I'm trying to just find one good woman and being able to build on that. Like, all that extra shit, like dating 5-6 people at one time while trying to figure out, like, man, to me, that shit not gonna work. That's just bullshit, and it's devaluing yourself more and more, devaluing yourself more and more when you spread yourself thin like that. And me personally, as a man, when I get with someone, it's because I want to build with that person. So I'm not trying to just throw a relationship away like over an argument or something or a disagreement. Like, I'm there to build. So, I think women should understand that aspect, that a lot of men get involved with a woman because they see things in them and they're willing to build. Like, that's why you see the divorce rate at what it is. What, 70 to 80% of women are filing for divorces. Men aren't filing for divorces because majority of men that get involved are get involved because they understand, I'm in this to build with this person. And over just small little petty shit like arguments or money, I wouldn't throw this relationship away, because through life, money comes and goes. People get in bad situations and good situations. Like, trust and believe, you're not going to be where you from 5 years from now, you're not going to be where you're at right now. So 5 years from now, you're going to be in a whole different situation, a whole different type of not economy, but ownership and money that you receive. You're going to be in a completely different situation. So to women that want stuff instantly and wants the instant gratification and instant material shit, man, keep that shit moving. Like, us men, we don't care for that shit. Like, me, I shouldn't speak for all men, but me specifically, I don't care for none of that shit. Like, I want to get with someone that's willing to build and that's willing to grow together, understand, have conversations, and when a disagreement happens, not willing to just jump out the window and go fuck someone else that night because we had a disagreement. It seems like a lot of women cope that way. And I'm not saying all men, but a lot of women do. They're like, they'll get into a little tiff with whoever they're quote unquote dating. And that night they're out there fucking with someone else because they feel that's a good way to get back or to get one up on the man. And it's like, that shit didn't do nothing but make you look stupid. Now you look like a thought. Like, bruh. Like, I'm just being honest. It's good to hear from you, Mello. Boston sucks. Shit. Yo, that's why how can I say this without a pause? Nah, fuck it. That's why we blew Philly out last night. Pause. What was it? 121 to 87? And with Embiid, bruh, y'all had Embiid, the MVP of the league, and y'all got blown out by like 40-something points, 30-something points, almost 40. Fuck out of here with that. Boston's taking it this year. We had a little mishap first game this series, but it's all good. Like, you know what I'm saying? They can have the MVP of the league. Guess what? Boston's taking that championship and holding it up. You know what I'm saying? But the one series I am intrigued about is Golden State versus the Lakers. We'll get into a little sport talk real quick. I'm interested in how that series is going to play out because I've always wanted to see LeBron versus Curry and as LeBron as a Laker. Because if you ask me, Curry's definitely put his stamp on the game. He's actually revolutionized the game for me personally in a real way that I could see. Because before Curry, 3-point shots wasn't like that idealistic. A lot of teams didn't. And just growing up, you'd see a lot of coaches and shit would not be happy with someone that got out there and consistently just shot 3-pointers. They would want that person to either get in the field goal range, in the paint, whatever, however you want to terminologize it. They would tell people, yo, go for the 2 points. 2 points is more idealistic, shooting from the 3-point range all the time, like how Golden State does. That was really frowned upon. And once Curry was able to just go out there and do what he does, to me, that revolutionizes the game. You got more players than ever shooting 3 points. And a lot of, not a lot of people, but a lot of people consider LeBron the GOAT. But for me personally, I feel there's two people in behind him, 2 people in front of him. And then Curry, to me, is right behind him, just based off of what those 4 players have done for basketball itself. And I'm talking about, in this order, MJ, Kobe, LeBron, Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry, if he can, play a little longer, he definitely is going to surpass LeBron. But, I think every basketball player has their own goals or own records that they want to break. And I got into a discussion with someone about when LeBron had got the most points scored ever, and they did the celebration right on the court, which I fucking thought was super corny. But some people didn't. That's cool. They're entitled to their opinion. But just to me personally, LeBron has done a bunch of corny things that I don't respect, such as ring chasing, building super teams, going where there's already good players at, like, to me, like LeBron, and then LeBron being on the Lakers and trying to insinuate that he would love to play with Steph Curry and kind of not really, acknowledging the players that he got was super corny to me. I thought that, nah, bro, like you're not one, but you are the top NBA player, and you're going on record stating you would love to play with Steph Curry rather than uplifting the guys you got with you right now. It was kind of like, to me, that was kind of like a shot that he took, as if the guys that he's with can't do what Steph Curry does. And, that's probably true, but I just think there's a level of sportsmanship where, you don't downplay your teammates and then expect them to go out and perform and bring you back a title when you've been downplaying them. And maybe I analyzed that situation wrong, but to me, it was corny for him to do that. So I don't really fuck with LeBron, but I'm willing to say he's, as far as after Jordan, after Kobe, he's definitely the top NBA player. He's fucking killed it. He's revolutionized the game. And I'm trying to think in which way, but the only way I can think is LeBron fucking revolutionized the flop. I may be wrong, but to me, I didn't really acknowledge the fake flops until LeBron was doing it. Maybe that's my biasness kicking in, but it is what it is. Everybody got who they fuck with and who they don't fuck with, and I respect it. But I'm not trying to be biased in this situation. As a Boston Celtics fan, I'm willing to, even admit that Kobe is definitely right behind MJ. I would never put LeBron in front of Kobe. Like, Kobe was just a different animal. Like, and I had to fucking watch my team lose and lose again. Lose multiple opportunities at the championship just based off of the killer instinct that Kobe Bryant had. And maybe that made me appreciate him and respect him more, but it is what it is. But like I said, I'm a Celtics fan. I'm willing to say that Kobe is is definitely right behind MJ. I would probably never put LeBron in front of Kobe, but that's just my opinion. Everybody has their own list. It's all good, but that's just my opinion right there on that specific topic. It's good to hear. Oh, yeah, we already read that bullshit ass comment from Perm. LeBron, king of flops. Yo, facts. And just because I don't fuck with LeBron because of what I just stated doesn't mean that other people should go with that. Like, that's just my personal opinion. Like, over the time of watching LeBron play, that's just the analysis that I got. Like, it is what it is. Everybody dislikes and likes, players for their own reasons. And, everybody's entitled. Like, it's all opinion based. It's all opinion based. Because if we actually, I don't know. I'd have to, I would want to see factual data as to who, far as records beating, championships, revolutionized the game. I'd want to see, I wish I could see the facts and data on that as to which NBA player, NBA players are up there. I'd like to see if my opinions are completely off as to who are the greatest players, in that order that I said, if I was completely wrong. And I may be, because, to me, it's just opinion based, but seeing the data on that would be pretty interesting, I think. And I might actually look into that to see if I can find the data as far as players that, revolutionize the game, championships, and all that other good shit, stats that they put on the board as far as their NBA career. I think that'd be interesting. I may look into that. And, I also want to shout out everyone that has sent me topics to ideas to react to. I greatly appreciate it. I just want to make this clear. If you send me something and I haven't put out a reaction video or haven't reacted to it on live stream, just know I'm not ignoring the idea. The idea is definitely written down on my board. I just gotta do my research upon it before I speak on it. Because I like to deal in facts majority of the time. I know, some of the time I'm going to be dealing in opinion or feelings, but when it comes to speaking on specific topics, I definitely want to, make sure I'm dealing within the facts. So if you send me something, just know if I haven't reacted to it, I'm gaining my knowledge upon it, or I'm trying to figure out a logical angle that either combats the topic you sent me, or if because it wouldn't be really fucking that good of a reaction to react to something that you agree with. I mean, I do that time to time, but dropping videos of me reacting to shit I agree with is kind of tricky, because then I'm just like, yo, I ain't got nothing to say. Like, I agree. Like, it's not a good reaction. So just know I still got everyone's suggestions written down. I'm just, like I said, I'm just building up my knowledge on the specific situation, and, seeing what logical angle I could go at the situation, whether I agree or disagree. So yeah, I appreciate everyone that's came through. I appreciate everyone that's hit that like button. Let's go ahead and end the live on some good vibes. We started with this song, so we'll end with this song. You know what I'm saying? But before that gets to playing, just real quick, I appreciate everyone that's come through. Show love, hit the like button, whether you were at the beginning, left, came back, all that shit. I appreciate it. Or whether you just came in here for 3-5 minutes, hit the like button and dipped out. That's cool with me too. I appreciate it. And with that being said, we're gonna end on this. All right, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all check out E1's channel tomorrow night, 10:15. There's a great battle going on. And just come through, show love, have a good time. That's what the Mahalo Battle League is about. And I'm out.